You're the intro woman today. Okay, we're live.
Hi, everybody. Hello, YouTube. Happy Hump Day, world. It is Wednesday, right?
It is.
Okay, all day. Welcome to Channel 27 with myself and the lovely Heidi Vandenberg, the most gracious host that I know. All right, folks, we have a lot to talk about tonight. I know I say that all the time, but I really mean it tonight. Tonight's very, very special. We're going to start. This is going to be a little bit unconventional. We're not going to do our typical readings. We're going to do a couple readings for people that we promised we do readings for. But tonight we are actually going to focus on several things. We're going to focus on transits. And Heidi has been working her magic, researching, doing her investigative work. And we are going to present to you some things that she managed to dig up about the Parkland shooting.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I don't know where we should start. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Channel 27. If you're new, just to give you a little quick what my channel is all about. Obviously, Jenny is basically part of my channel too. She comes on every week with me. And we typically do live readings. We talk about astrology, tarot, but, we also like to cover events. We are not just, all astrology here. So, I like talking about cryptocurrency. I like talking about the world events, politics, all the crazy stuff. Jenny has her topics she likes to talk about. MK Ultra, we might talk about that tonight a little bit too, which I'm learning about, and I have been learning about for the past year and a half since I've met Jenny. Also, then I also do a VIP guest list. So I have some great people coming on soon. But with that said, we don't want to waste too much time. So I have been really bothered by this, like this whole shooting. And, it's funny, when I did my Valentine's Day show with Trisha, I got like so defensive immediately because I was like, don't say anything, blah, blah, blah. We don't know all the facts. But I don't know. I'm pretty distraught because there is so much to be said that is missing. And just so everybody knows, one of my special guests is my friend I always talk about, who is the sheriff. I convinced him to come on. I'm not sure when he's coming, but he even agrees there are missing pieces here. So he says, but he's going to talk about it. So hopefully that'll be soon. But Jenny, why don't you get us started?
Okay, so the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas shooting has been a complete disaster. Obviously, not just the loss of life here, but all of the very sinister factions surrounding it and the discrepancies from the moment that it started. Heidi blew my mind with what she was able to uncover, specifically in terms of the timeline. So we have the official reports, and then we have the police audio scanning archive data, and none of it matches up. None of it makes any sense. It does not, they don't align in any way. And so right off the bat, when we're talking about a police report, when we're talking about any kind of something that will be tended to in a very official way, the way these people are trained to do so, between dispatch, between responding officers, between the paperwork that ensues, we expect these things to align quite, if not that it has to be perfect every time, because human beings are flawed, but the discrepancies in this timeline are absolutely insane. They're undeniably ridiculous. And so I'd really like to get into that. 17 people did die that day. And I'm no longer engaging with people that choose to try to call this a hoax. Okay. False flag. Yes. Hoax. No, because there was loss of life. So, and I completely agree with Heidi. I go to the gym or at my workplace or anywhere I go, I see Nicholas Cruz's face plastered all over the place. And he is, public enemy number one, being painted as, what's wrong with America, and the guns is what's wrong with America. But I know that he if he even did this, if he even fired a shot, which I'm not sure that he did, he didn't act alone. This was very strategic. The exposure on the part of Sheriff Scott Israel, I mean, the corruption that's being exposed day after day it's coming forward at such a rate they can't control the leaks anymore. And just yesterday, the court proceedings were halted due to the rapid leaking of the information coming out that his defense, Nicholas Cruz's defense, is actually starting to strike back. I was concerned about his defense from day one because since he is this MK Ultra patsy, and I believe that, I 100% believe that in my bones. He was a targeted individual, trained and targeted for this particular purpose to be the fall guy for this tragedy. I also had my concerns about his defense, but Heidi believes that his defense attorney is actually a stand-up woman. And so we can expect to see continued exposure of this situation, and maybe Nicholas Cruz will be, redeemed in some way if the truth about this does in fact come out.
Yeah. I was just trying to see if I could pull something up real quick too during this. So like we
are watching the comments, you guys. So please check yourselves. Don't get smart. Don't get cute or sassy. I'm not in the mood.
Oh God. Okay. So, I'm having my psychic stuff is on task.
Oh my God, me too.
To a T. And anybody that has planets close to Leo, kind of close to Virgo, Pisces, they are heightened right now. Okay. So, I mean, the dreams that I'm having are absurd. We could talk about that a little bit later. But just the things that the visions, like the weird visions, they're the littlest things, but I'm noticing they're 100%. Like I'll picture something, then I walk upstairs and there's something there, that like that thing. It's pretty nuts. So everybody needs to pay attention to that right now. So.
Oh yeah. The psychic energy is swirling around. Everybody that I know that has a lot of water in their charts, so the Scorpios, the Pisces, the Cancers, all of these people are having, sleepless nights because they're in and out of the, dream time. And, the moon and the astrology right now is so intense that it can pull you awake. It can pull you, you're sort of straddling the realms right now, and that can be very uncomfortable. I can just sort of hear what people are thinking now, and it's uncomfortable. You don't always want to know what people are thinking. So I just, my suggestion is if it gets too intense, ground yourself, black tourmaline, black onyx. I'm wearing black so that I can sort of deflect and ground myself. And it's actually a really great color for transmutation. Heidi and I always end up wearing the same color too. Like we never plan it, but we always end up kind of channeling the same like aesthetic, the same color and the same mood. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, the energy out there is really intense, really intense.
Okay. So in case you don't know this, and you might have missed this, but the only thing I was ever good at school was criminal justice and law enforcement classes, police defense tactics, corrections. This was the only time I was ever good in school. So that's what I went to school for. And I'm obsessed. So, that's why I have an obsession with police scanners. Like anytime I hear sirens, scanners are on, figuring out what's going on. So, like I said in the show prior, that I listened to the scanners the entire time. Well, I come about, and we did the show with Rex, and, I said, I don't know if I said this before, but I pulled the court case papers, okay, which I'll share them today. But the problem with the court case papers are, okay, so there's conflicting things. Number one, and I would love somebody if they know this and can find this out for me because I don't have time to search this, but I need to know if in Broward County, all the records are actually really public. Like if somebody knows somebody that had some civil or criminal with the state, okay, or with the county, Broward County, I want you to please look it up and let me know if your documents are online. Okay, send me an email because I know somebody in that field that says I mean, how it's so hard to just go get these documents, like to just e-file them, something a serious case like that. Everything is confidential. Subpoenas are confidential. And for some strange reason, there are the subpoenas. Can they not hear?
I don't know, but I did notice a couple people were complaining that they couldn't hear us or see us, which is really weird. But we have to expect interference with what we're talking about because we are going to start revealing documents.
Okay, so yesterday, okay, all I did was listen to the scanner and I pulled up these documents. And yes, Heidi has a wonderful clipboard full of all of the pages. This is the case records. Okay.
Just so everybody knows, I have copies of that. Heidi sent copies of those to several people, so she's not the only person. So if any hitmen or assassins out there are so bold as to try to take those from Heidi, you're too late. You're too late.
Okay, so, and I went through and highlighted. So number one, we have to sit here and think. We need to find that out if this is actually can be public. Okay.
I believe that it is. It usually is. All court documents are public, but this particular,
not how this is,
unless it's juvenile, right? And all juvenile records, mental health records, anything like that, those are sealed. However, this case is so different. It is so different.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Okay.
So, first of all, I have to bring up to Jenny's attention that Jenny, I think I mentioned this to you, but Jenny last week said something about all Florida and Broward County is the, what did you say? What did you say the last names were of people? You were
all the Finkelsteins and Goldfarbs. Yeah.
She said that exact last name, and his defense attorney is Howard Finkelstein. Okay, so just Jenny's like spot on, says somebody's name that's his defender. So that made me a little nervous at first because I just saw the assistant attorney, but then after I see, we have it's Howard Finkelstein. It's 17 jurisdiction, and wait, I'm gonna pull them up so you guys can see them too. This freaking computer would work.
Yeah, I'm dealing with a lot of interference. Like my ear's buzzing really hard right now.
I'm seriously getting annoyed. It's Howard Finkelstein. Oh God, here we go. 17. Sorry, guys. We're getting ready to have Mercury and Pisces. I'm getting a little.
Mercury and Pisces, what does that mean for?
Oh, we'll talk about that in a bit. Let me just get my.
That sounds awful, by the way.
Oh, good. It is debilitated in Pisces, they say. All right. Hey, Jenny, talk a little bit while I find this.
Okay. Yeah. So the thing about this, I have to say, if a lot of you guys that watch us watch a lot of other channels, not just about astrology and tarot, but also about truthing and, conspiracy theories and what have you. And the censorship campaigns have ramped up so above and beyond the past couple of weeks in light of the Parkland shooting. I mean, people are getting censored left and right. It's unbelievable. The kids that they sort of gave these roles to come out and speak out to the media, particularly CNN, and try to, we're calling this the Kids Crusade or the Children's Crusade. The survivors of the Parkland shooting are now fronting this whole movement to to push for stricter gun legislation. And they really kind of dropped the ball with these particular kids, particularly David Hogg, who's just a horrible actor and a very unlikable, just slimy little rat. I hate that kid. He's just making it so obvious that this whole thing is scripted. And they're using the blood of people that really did die to forward their agenda. This isn't the first time this has happened, but this is very different. This is that generation's 9/11. Okay, this sent shockwaves throughout the consciousness of a generation of kids. And I've said this before, what they did was they mind controlled that entire school, that entire city. And they, when I say they, I mean the DNC, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Sheriff Scott Israel, all of the people that are responsible for this, for the depravity in South Florida, which is a hive of child trafficking, drug trafficking, among other things. They ensure the next generation or the next wave of child soldiers that will create huge problems for gun legislation for the next 20 to 30 years. And not just about guns, about, the gender wars and about, identity politics. I mean, it's disastrous. And I will fight David Hogg. I don't care that he's a kid. I will physically fight him. He's an awful human being. He's the next Anderson Cooper.
Oh, he totally is too. Yeah. And first of all, I saw today that somebody posted that all right, so everybody can see my screen, right?
Just so you guys know, yes, you can MK a whole city. I lived in Parkland, and it's a tiny city. I mean, we're talking like a 5 mile ratio, a 5 mile circumference. This place is teeny tiny, and the school has 4,000 kids. It's not that hard. This entire country. I wanted the title of tonight's show to be MK Nation. But we were worried it would get flagged too soon. But yes, you can MK an entire city, an entire state, an entire nation, this entire world, this realm, planet Earth is subject to mind control each and every day on every level. It's terrible.
I want to just do this way.
But we can fight them back. We're not losing, we're winning, which is why we're here. We're not going to lose. Not this time.
I want to do something. So, and if anybody doesn't know how to do this is very simple to do. All you do is go to the Broward County court case search. Okay. This is it. You don't even need to do this. So I do this on people in Maryland all the time. I do. I'm not joking. So Cruz. Okay, just so you guys can see. I'm not a robot. That's so stupid. Okay. Oh my God. Look at this. They're not going to let me do it.
It's going to give you a hard time right now because we're live.
On YouTube. Of course they are. Okay, so anybody can go on this. And I have them pulled up just in case they were not going to work because you just never know, right?
Capital homicide. Can I just add that they wanted to enter into a plea bargain 2 days after it happened? You don't do that. That's unheard of.
Today, guys, we got some new things. Whoa, okay. What's going on?
It's un-American not to give him a trial. They wanted to avoid, quote unquote, the circus of a trial.
Guys, they took down.
Did they take stuff down?
Oh no, here we go. That was not up there before. I was like, oh my God, they took it down. All right. I have to go through this because we have updates. All right. But you can go and you can see everything. Like, for instance, you can see that, like, I wanted to make sure that his mom was his real mom. I was looking at that and there's definitely some key back here. So, this just shows he has no car. I mean, it literally has all these weird things. There's an affidavit for him to go to the, to get his health records, obviously, his any records from any county of the schools, all of that. That's all on here, okay? But so I suggest that everybody goes on to this and looks through these, okay? Just go look. Why not? I mean, so what happened was I went on I was looking for the cop's name, okay? I can't do like 100 things at once. I gotta just wait. Okay, so I went on to look to the guy that arrested him, his name, because I wanted to know if it was the same cop that was so freaked out, on the scanner that I said last week. I said basically that this guy was like, have that guy call me, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So I'm just looking through it, and this is just the arrest papers, and I just see the big sheriff's office, and so he's in the sheriff's office. Surprise, surprise. Like this. So there's 5 people being investigated right now for why they didn't go in. They're saying that they were told not to go in. Somebody said that. Well, I can tell you that they have their whole stories wrong, because what nobody is noticing, I just say, did they take this off? Maybe it shouldn't be. Okay, so what nobody's noticing is that this was the police, what they said. On Wednesday, February 14th, approximately 2:23 p.m., multiple 911 calls were made. Okay, so I went to the scanner to look around this time, broadcastify.com. There were no 911 calls. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. So that's why I assumed that they took them out. Okay.
Right.
Well, so I searched this guy's name, and all right, I searched this guy's name, and it says this woman's Facebook page came up, and it said basically that she has been sketching around on this all day. And she said the sheriff posted at 10:41 a.m. that there's a mass shooting. So everybody go on Twitter and look at his post. Okay, I have it saved, but I'm not going to start skipping around because obviously my computer's acting up. So a post at 10:41 a.m. says we have active shooters in the school and injuries, and at 11:41. So conflict number one, the freaking police reports are wrong, because why 2:23? Okay, nobody brought that up. People said it was a stunt or whatever. No, there were people, you should have heard them. I listened. So then I started it at 10:41. I'm not going to get into it. You could go download, you could get them, the records, but I'm just going to say minimum. But this whole story is the wackiest. It's like, honestly, it's just kind of like the Vegas thing. Like, no story, there's no answer, and it's a big cluster. Okay. So that's the problem. And I don't know. Like, it's really stressing me out about that. This guy, whether he did it or not, we don't know the whole story. We do not know. I thought he came in the school at 2:00. Okay. And that it was all done by like 2:50. That's crazy. So you're telling me from 11 o'clock till 2:00 p.m. That's how long the shooting was?
No, it was a couple of minutes. It was just a few minutes.
So there's a lie here. Something's off. Something's already done. All these sheriffs are being investigated. 41 calls on this kid, and nobody said anything. Come on, guys. Let's use our freaking heads. I could get probably turned into the cops for making that. YouTube finds you and puts you in the slammer for just saying something wrong about CNN. Okay. And this kid is threatening people's lives, and that sheriff's office did nothing.
They did nothing. Well, they did that because when they heard that, first of all, listen, Nicholas Cruz is under the care of Dr. David Lubin, who he pioneered.
But we don't know that, Jenny. Does that guy work?
No, we do, because he was referred to Henderson Mental Health Facility. And Henderson, I'm familiar with Henderson. Okay. Henderson is like a well-known Broward County, like that's where you send the bad kids. Okay. Yeah. And, but in any case, this guy, Dr. Lubin, he has he's on a panel of NASA, like he's affiliated with Army intelligence. His father also, Nicholas Cruz's father is also affiliated with Army intelligence. I mean, this kid just has all the makings of a patsy, of a total MK Ultra patsy. And it's so easy to pin it on the fall guy. I mean, we can look at, recent history of these mass shootings and see the common threads between these guys, between these people. They're all drugged within an inch of their sanity. They're surrounded by handlers. They're surrounded by people that are checking everything that they're doing every step of the way. And the police that are responsible for this, they knew what was going on. And in their minds, they were like, okay, everything's going exactly according to plan. He's losing it. He's a loose cannon. Let's push him. Let's push him. Let's push him. You know what I mean? So whether he did it or not remains to be seen. I still can't confirm that personally. I really can't. But in any case, even his confessions, even the things that he's saying to FBI, I don't even believe what he's saying, because he's not in his right mind, because he's been MK'd within an inch of his life.
Now look at this. Oh, this just made me want to smack somebody. So I saw this. This is the letter. So this person, every news channel got together and wrote a letter to the courts and said, look at this paragraph. Needless to say, the public interest, so it says all the names of the people that he was charged with premeditated murder in connection of the shootings, names all the people. Needless to say, the public interest in this
latest mass shooting is great.
Yeah, is great. Thank you. Read that out loud.
In the few days since the shooting, public debate on issues of school safety, mental health, government competence, and gun ownership has been robust. The media has learned about a motion or other paper defendant filed in the case late Friday afternoon, February 16th, 2018. The court document itself was filed under seal. It is the media's understanding that there exists an order permitting the document to be filed under seal, and that document is under seal as well. Neither the motion nor the order appears on the court's docket, even though pleadings subsequent to these materials are reflected on the docket for this case. The media found out about these sealed filings due to a series of hearings held February 19th related to whether the state attorney objected to closure of the records. At the Monday afternoon hearing, the state attorney apparently informed the court it did not. I can't.
Wait, I really just wanted people to hear this. Okay. I wanted people to see this. Needless to say, the public interest in this latest mass shooting is great. Like, they're looking at it like, look, they say in a few days since the shooting, public debate on school safety, mental health, government competence, and gun. That's their motive. Like, they're writing it in the letter. Like, they're saying the people are going crazy over it. We got to get this published. Like, that is law. They wrote that in a document and sent this. Like, they made it so obvious. Like, it's sick. That's their intentions. And if you saw the news channels, you probably met half of them, Jenny, when you were out there.
I know.
I mean, guys, this is like
disgusting.
All right. So just when you go through this, his affidavits here, you can read it. I'm not going through and reading you all of his court case stuff, but there's a lot of missing. There's a lot of weirdness. Okay. I know I am skeptical to say his public defender's on his side. I'm nervous about that. I'm not going to lie.
No, me too. I really am. I think this kid is so alone right now. I think he could be the loneliest person on the planet right now. And my heart hurts for him because I really don't think I don't think that he killed anybody. When we have survivors, we have a teacher who survived. And she was, she said that she saw a man, in full tactical gear, a helmet, full body armor, and a rifle that she'd never seen before, a bulletproof vest. I mean, even the official timeline lets us know that he took an Uber. Okay, so he fit all of this stuff, a helmet, a bulletproof vest, full body armor, and a rifle that he had to break down, and it had to be broken down and then put it together. He had within 60 to 100 seconds to gear up, assemble his weapon, and start shooting as if he was a trained warrior. That doesn't happen. That does not happen. He was 5'7" and a buck 30. I mean, get out of here.
Yeah. And and they say that they were told not to go in.
They were told to stand down.
They were told to stand down, and they were. Guys, like, they put the whole thing off. The shooting got called in from the scanner, and then they said, oh, well, they like pretended like it wasn't happening. And the dispatchers kept getting nervous and saying, this is going on. This is going on. And I keep getting calls on it. Let me tell you guys, I heard the descriptions of the shooter, and it wasn't a red eagle shirt and jeans. Okay. Not at all.
No, it wasn't.
So there's too many missing. And there were cameras. Okay. There were cameras. I know there were cameras. There were also blue book bags. There were also, they said that somebody called 911 in also during this I heard on the scanner, and said that there was actual 3 bombs on the school grounds. Nobody brought that one up.
Right.
So there's so many pieces that they don't even tell you. Okay. That came up on the, I can't believe the news and everybody's not playing the scanners. I mean, I don't know. It's pretty crazy. There's so many missing. I just look at that kid and let me say, his chart's not that screwed up. He's not a loose cannon. Yeah, depression. Okay. But I can't say that I believe 100% that he was all alone on this. That's for sure. I think he was definitely something went on there. or he was set up. I really believe it.
I think he was set up. So we're not done with this. We're going to come back to this eventually. This is going to take weeks, months, hopefully not years, but it's going to take a while to roll out all of the evidence, put pieces together. But we're not going to give up on the people that were lost. We're not going to give up on Nicholas Cruz. Okay, because if ever there was somebody that needed, a second look, okay, it's somebody like him who's been traumatized and fragmented from the moment he was born. I mean, his little brother Zachary was Baker acted 2 days after it happened, probably because he knew what was going on. And what do you do with somebody that has things to say? You institutionalize them. You put them away, you drug them up, you wrap them up, you make them be quiet. And it's terrifying. And these people have no allies. So, you can call us every name in the book. Oh, you guys are standing up for a psycho mass murderer. Like, fuck you, because you don't know shit. And sometimes these people need help. Sometimes these people need a non-biased, perspective where people are going to look at this information for what it actually is and not just soak up the narrative and, we're good little robots. We're good little slaves. We're just going to eat it all up and take it for, for what they're telling us. We know that's not the case. And I think that he didn't do this alone. I don't think he did this at all. And I think Sheriff Scott Israel is more responsible for this, along with Debbie Wasserman Schultz and people whose names we don't know yet. And I hope the wrath of all the heavens comes down on those people and that they have no place to run, no place to hide. May death find them on swift wings. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's just, there's so much. It's like, it makes me sick. Like when I start thinking about it, I get really like nauseous about it. I get cried.
No, I've cried for him. I've cried for the loss of life. I've cried for the families, and I've cried for Nicholas Cruz.
Well, I don't cry, but I just feel like I feel horrible. It makes me like just feel sick. It really does. Just to think for 1 second, like if he did it, okay, you know what? Yeah, I get it. Everybody like that's 100, but there are so many things. There are so many things. Adding more people to this story's false. Like some way it's changed, it's twisted, it's stretched. I mean, it's just sickening, actually, quite honestly. And it's frightening. You know why it's frightening? Because it can happen to anyone. Like you're crazy, and it's just
well, yeah, there are common threads with people. They do target people of a specific bloodline, a specific sort of orientation, in the family. And I guarantee you they also look at astrology. I guarantee you they look at where, because I've talked about the mapping technology they have, where they know who's coming in, when and where. They know the vessel. They get them as early as they can, like in utero, as soon as they can, to start prepping them. I believe that Nicholas Cruz was prepped for this role since before birth.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see.
Somebody, like, honestly, some of my YouTube subscribers, and they might even be in this room, they have sent me things like showing hooking up. Obviously, it's pretty obvious that Clinton and Israel were close. Okay, red flag number one. But then, in addition to that, Cruz's dad possibly connected to Anthony Weiner's family and stuff. Yeah. And like, and then you just see these things and you're like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, why? Like, why do they? And it's just sick. It's sick. You know what? It's really sick. It really is sick.
I can spot.
And you know what they did? And like you said, Jenny, last week, sorry to get in, but I just don't want to forget this. Like you said this week, you made such a good point. If you did not see this, make sure you check out what Jenny said last time. And I had like the epiphany, what she said about they MK'd a whole, people, like a whole group of lawmakers for the next year. You know what else they did? They just turned a whole high school into like liberals. That's
Yeah.
what they did.
Oh my God.
Over this gun control. And in 4 years, when those kids are able to vote, that's what they did.
Yes.
And people
They're
were
powerful kids.
Yeah.
They're affluent children from affluent families. They have all the money in the world. Their parents are influential. And in a few years, when they have pull, when they have resources, they're going to create a problem. They're going to tie up the interwebs. They're going to tie up the conversation for the next freaking, at least the next few years. And I think that they're hiding. This whole thing is most likely a huge distraction, as well as a strategic combative move, because there are factions at war right now. This is also a huge distraction. What's going on in DC? You know what I mean? And so that's something for another show. I just want to let you know, there's one person in the chat. I'm not going to name you just yet, but I see you, bro. I see you.
What's he saying?
I'm
move him right now.
I'm not even going to give him his name right now.
Yeah. Okay.
But I am this close. I'm this close.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not going to play it and get my whole channel shut down because everybody's saying this stuff, but I suggest everybody, it's $30 to go sign up for Broadcastify and listen to the archives all day, because things are mixed in. But I suggest everybody, unless you have a better website that's free, but that's the only way you can get archives. So
can I request that people get kicked out now?
You can remove them. Who is it?
Okay. Thoth Mark, get out now.
Oh yeah, I've tried to kick him out like a million times.
Bye, bro.
You delete him?
I don't know. I need the mods to get rid of him right now. And if Think Simply is here, you can go kick rocks too. Bye-bye.
Okay. No, so I have to make a public comment. I said I would do this. Think Simply was not my tranny troll. Okay, just that he was still a troll on something else. Okay, but he definitely we weren't best friends. But he was not my tranny troll. Okay, so I just thought I promised him I would say that live in front of everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Love it.
Not saying he's a saint, that's for sure, but because there's other groups about me, but you know, whatever.
Thank you. Thanks, mods. You guys are on it tonight. All right. So let's get into transits. Let's get into astrology, shall we?
Yeah, and 2 people I think you should go look at too, just to get some better information, because I kind of always talk about it from my perspective. But Joni Patria is a good March transit one, and so does Sam Jeppy. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting month. Honestly, March for me is always about endings. Why? Because my moon is in Pisces and Revati. So my breakups, the endings, like that's when a lot of things in my life end. But I do really well financially. So for the Bitcoin people, I personally think everybody, all the cryptocurrency has moon in Pisces, basically all of them. Mercury's going to be in Revati. Mercury and Venus are going to be in Pisces for a while. So I think this is going to be great for cryptos, just so everybody, that's my opinion. That's just increase. Okay. So, but on the other side, let's talk about how people are going to be affected. So, all right, we have 2 full moons. Okay. And this is Vedic astrology, sidereal zodiac. So keep in mind, this is not Western. So when people say, oh, the full moon's in Virgo, okay, no, not the first one. The first one's in Leo, okay, and the nakshatra of Purva Falguni, which is ruled by Venus. There's a lot of women energy, a lot of sex energy, a lot of prostitution and energy, and a lot of indulgent energy. So people that, and a lot of so when Mercury and Venus are conjunct, it definitely causes for people to have affairs, people to wander, stray, you know, go back to past people. We have a Mercury retrograde, we have a Jupiter retrograde, we have Venus and yeah, and then we have a full moon in Leo, a new moon in Pisces, and it's in kind of the crazy nakshatra, the Purva Bhadrapada one. So this is definitely, yeah. And then we have a new moon at the end of a full moon at the end of the month in Virgo, but it's in Hasta. So this is a lot of sex, indulgences. So everybody, guys, just do your best when things get tough, not to try to just go escape. Because like I say, when planets are in Pisces, this is when a lot of the drug overdoses are. Another thing,
Indulgence, right? It's that instant gratification and the sensory world, the sensuality of everything, and getting that, that fix that you need, but it's not, it's temporary, and it doesn't,
yeah.
It comes with consequences.
So, and then another thing I will say that it's going to be a lot of relationship stuff and emotional stuff for people, but it's a great time for creativity, great time for metaphysical people. So, it'll be a good time for anybody that does anything like this. Your psychic intuition will be on better.
Oh, yeah.
Learn better. You'll learn more things. So everybody says, oh, Mercury's debilitated in Pisces. Well, I personally don't think it's debilitated the whole time. Why? Because when it's in Revity is ruled by Mercury. So I don't never look at the debilitated planets as such a negative like other people do. Now, what I notice with me is my thoughts get a little, like, I can't say what I'm thinking, and it's already happening. It's been going on. But my mind is so awake, like things are on task, but I don't know how to say what I'm thinking. So that's effective. And people that have moon in Pisces ascendants, they'll be really affected. Also, planet people that have, what? Yeah, I know. Also, Leo ascendants are going to kind of be affected as well. And Virgo, like Hasta, if you have planets in Hasta Nakshatra. So, it's a good time for creativity, dancing, hey, music, all that fun stuff. But it's not the best time for, and another thing, what's Venus? Vehicles. Mercury is traveling. There's going to be a lot of accidents, and be very cautious driving, traveling. Mercury retrograde, planes. Oh, see, I can't even talk. I'm like planets and planes all at once, trying to say it both. Yeah, planes, things happen with planes, things happen with cars, things happen with women. There's a lot of stuff like that comes out. So that's what kind of month it's going to be. And then, we have to say, so Mars is shifting into Sagittarius, conjunct Saturn, because in Vedic astrology, that's where Saturn is. And you could take a star chart up, stick it in the sky, and see for yourself. So when the moon hits that point with all these retrograde planets, and I'm sure it's in the middle of the month, I didn't have time to look at it. But when the moon and Mars and Saturn are conjunct, it's going to be an interesting couple days. That's for sure. So I will say that this is a heavy month. Like, this might be it's heavy, passionate. It's good for sex, good for, meeting people. I've heard so many astrologers say it's so good for love. Well, maybe if it's
a big difference between love and lust. And this feels like a lustful month as opposed to love, meaningful, long lasting, that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, and then, anybody that has the nodes, they're getting triggered more. So there's just so much, like, what's funny? I'm actually in a really good mood. It's weird. Like, I came home after work and I said, what's wrong with me? Why am I like so happy right now?
I'm feeling happy. This is weird.
It was because I woke up in such a bitch mode, and I came home and I was in such a good mood. It was weird. Anyway.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. A lot of people that I know that have a lot of water in their chart have been telling me they have a lot of like hypersensitivity, hyper psychic, visions and dreams and things like that. And I know that water is the same domain over sensuality. So when you feel very receptive, you're very receptive to the incoming energies, you're receptive to people, to animals, to children, to situations. When something's going to happen, you can feel it in your body, you can feel it in your heart and your mind. You're also susceptible to impulse. So triggers, things are going to trigger you. I started crying the other day for no good reason, and I couldn't stop. And I was just so upset. And I cried about things that I hadn't cried about in years. You know what I mean? But, so there's that. But then there's also this being really susceptible to you know, especially like Pisceans like myself, we're very impulsive. So just think about it before you speak. Think about it before you do, because this month is kind of a test. From what you're telling me, it feels like it's a huge, like, dangle the carrot in front of you, dangle all these temptations, all of this. You know, the time is really prime to do all of this, like the psychic work, this intuitive work, the sensuality and stuff like that. But just be really, really careful, because everything comes, you know, with a consequence, whether it's a good consequence or a bad consequence. That really depends. But just be really, really careful, you guys, because it's really, really heavy out there, and we're sensitive people, all of us, even Heidi.
I get weirdly. I'm going to tell what I told you about my dream. So this, and I said it to a couple of my friends in the YouTube world as well. So this is very strange, but my dreams have been like spot on. Can you look out, Jenny, for Terry? It's a girl, Terry. I told her I would do her chart one day on the Leak Project. Okay. Terry, and look out for her birthday information for me.
Yeah. There's someone we have to do a chart for too.
Yeah, so we'll do her and then we're gonna pull some cards for maybe the elements or something.
Okay, that sounds good.
So, and this is just for this week. So we promise you next week, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do like one of those Nikshatra readings for March. We just wanted to talk about this stuff first, but we definitely will do that. So
someone said the lady at Wendy's was flirting with me last night. Now I get it.
Oh, so
that's so funny. I'm sure she's flirting with you because you're adorable.
Let me tell you too, because it's such like an indulging type of month, like don't be going on random strange, like don't go on people and stuff. Don't be going on dates without getting people screened. That's my opinion, because I'm telling you, now is like when you get date raped, when you know, and then we have that Mars heavy energy. That's like the warrior. There's going to be a ton of fights over which astrology is the right way. Probably there's going to be a ton of issues with, like, you know, battles of religion. So probably when the religious Sagittarius stuff comes, you know what happens there.
Rex is in the house, y'all.
Up, Rex.
He said, "Would you just look at it?" I love when he says that. He's so. I know. We love you, Rex.
I love Rex on his bike when he's calling out the trolls on his bike. It's
oh my God, that was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Oh my God. Seriously, I watched it for days. Anytime I get mad, I just turn it on.
Just watch that.
At the end, he was like this. Did you see that? He was just Garden City. What? Hold on. Garden City. No. So close. Okay. Michigan.
No dates with your crazy ex-girlfriends. Now is not.
Yeah, all your exes will try to come back. I mean, I have almost broken up with every person I've ever been with, I think, during this time, because their exes come back, and I even tell them, and then get into these huge fights, because then I just, you know, I don't trust people easily.
No, yeah. Honestly, you guys, this is a time to put your shields up, put your walls up, at least temporarily, just for a little while, until this energy dies down and there's less water and there's less just like slutty stuff just being thrown around. Just like cool it, just chill out, put your walls up, put your shields up, get your priorities in order, because I know temptation is strong, but think it through.
Yeah. Okay. So the dream that I had, and all you dream analysis people, please. So, you know, I'm into house music, deep house music usually, and more so like music with beats, okay, or like loungy house music, something like this. Now I do like a little like techno, like dark, weird stuff, and I think this comes from a past life. So I had a dream a few nights ago about Marilyn Manson, okay. And it was so weird because
I woke her up accidentally.
Jenny loves to text me 500 times in a row, so it beeps and it sounds like I'm in a boxing match, okay? I call this the Jenny Moonstone text. It's like 5 texts in a row, 1 lines.
I have a hard time with it. I'm sorry.
Like she can't just put it all in one. It's just 5 multiple ones. So I call that the Jenny Moonstone text, but I love you, Jenny. It's okay.
Thank you.
Anyway, so Jenny wakes me up in the morning for something. I don't even know what. And I was like, you just woke me up.
I can just imagine.
I was like, you just woke me up in the middle of this crazy dream. And I was like, and it had to do with Marilyn Manson. She's like, he's been known to travel in people's dreams. Didn't you say that? Anyway.
Yeah, he is a very experienced astral traveler.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
So I've liked a few songs of his back in the day, but I've never thought, he's never crossed my mind. Like I don't sit around and think, oh, Marilyn Manson. And he just pops into my dream. And I was doing a YouTube show or something, like we were talking about something and he said, look, you can use my comments on YouTube if you show my pen. Okay. I don't know where this comes. So I was like, oh, okay. I wake up and I'm like, what the hell does that mean? So then now we know. So then I go on my phone and I'm scrolling and looking at some YouTubes, and I was telling Jenny the story. Well, we know they definitely track everything we say because Marilyn Manson's interviews pop up. Okay. One of his interviews pop up that he just did. And I was blown away. Okay. He was so smart and just, I don't know. And he said something about writing, something about YouTube. And I was like, what? And it's like everything he was saying, I felt like he was talking to me. Like he went to the Christian school, same as me. And I don't know, just a lot of things. And he's totally, I think he is a little bit I'm not saying hasn't done things that, didn't dabble. That's for sure. But, and then also like the whole shooting thing, like he was unfortunately blamed for that, So there were so many things, like, I guess where my mind was going. So I was like, I gotta go look at this chart. So I go and get his birthday. I do his chart. Jenny tells me to do his ex-girlfriend too. I did her chart. She's a Scorpio rising like me. Okay. And he is a Cancer ascendant with moon in the first house. And he's not crazy, guys. He's actually pretty freaking smart. And he's not like, I don't think he's like everybody thinks he is. And he's a genius. Like how he got to where he was by writing. He didn't even have songs. He didn't even have really a band in mind. And what he did was pretty amazing. Okay. And I don't know. And Jenny, everybody I bring up, she always talks about, the whole Luciferian thing. And I'm not saying he wasn't, didn't do his thing. I'm just, my point is.
Being a Luciferian, I really don't care what you believe or what you practice. As long as you don't hurt animals or children, I don't care what you do. I really don't.
Yeah. So it was just weird. Okay. So then I'm scrolling down and it said, scrolling through articles, and it said Marilyn Manson's girlfriend speaks out. They had sex all the time, but he kept his underwear on because he was afraid of fire. Okay. And that might sound crazy to everybody, but I sleep with a fire extinguisher.
Yeah. Heidi has an irrational fear of like spontaneous combustion.
Yeah. I have the massive fear of fire. I've never been burned in a fire. Never. So I know this is from like a past life or a past whatever. So no joke. I mean, that was weird. So we both have this like crazy fear of fire. So I did the rods check to see if I knew him in a past life. It was a definite yes. Trisha did it. Definite yes. And I put our charts together and it was just like, it was weird. It was so weird. And then the next day there were like 2 gas fires, like explosions.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not saying that's why he came in to tell me that, but.
Well, here, someone actually brought up a really good point. I'm trying to find it. Someone mentioned that the pen is actually very symbolic, and I can't believe I didn't think of it before, but the pen is symbolic of a contract. And I'm telling you, Heidi, and I'm telling everybody who's listening, now is a very important time in the history of the world. And anybody who is sort of seeking in any way is going to be met with what are known as handlers. I know a lot of people know what a handler is. And sometimes a handler is aware of their role and sometimes they're not. And handlers are people that come into your life at a very specific time to control you, to monitor you. Sometimes they throw you off. Sometimes it appears that they're helping you. They can be your friend. They could be someone you knew 20 years ago. They could be somebody brand new. It could be your brother, your mother, your sister. It doesn't matter. But all I said to Heidi, and I'm not saying that this is the case for her, but all I'm saying is that handlers, be aware, be careful with anybody that comes into your life right now, or comes back into your life right now. Just use your intuition. That's all I ever tell people to do, is use your intuition. I don't really care about Marilyn Manson. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't know anything. I don't know all that much about him.
I was just surprised.
Well, yeah, for sure.
And I know I come from a dark side in a past life.
And she does. And that's the thing about Heidi too. And Heidi says past lives. And I have to, let her know that there is no past and there is no future. It's all happening at the same time. So we call those parallel lives. So I do believe, knowing Heidi as well as I do, that she is so equipped to do this work in this timeline right now here, because on a parallel existence, Heidi does run in some really, really dark circles. I know that about Heidi. I love that about Heidi because she is, it's kind of like, and it's kind of like myself too, where it's like I'm equipped to handle this stuff, all of this darkness, because I have a lot of darkness myself. You have to be kind of similar to them in some ways in order to fight them. Otherwise, you're gonna, what are you gonna go live in a teepee with your dreadlocks and your avocados? Like, spare me with your love and light bullshit. It's so ineffective. It's not going to do anything. There's a war going on right now. People are going to come out of the woodwork to try to throw you off. They're going to try to seduce you. They're going to try to manipulate you. And the pen is really interesting symbology. It's the contract.
Well, can I tell you what I was thinking it meant? I thought he meant to make sure I paid, because he said so many people, what he did was he hand wrote, maybe I was thinking maybe I should handwrite him a letter, but he hand wrote all these people when he started out, invitations to like his debut, and hand wrote it and sent like hundreds of thousands of people letters.
Wow.
And he wrote like his words. He's a phenomenal writer. Okay. Mm-hmm. His writing is immaculate. And, I'm not a very, obviously I just kind of speak it up. I can talk at work, but when I talk about this kind of stuff, this is more like me just not really, just really caring. So, I say things that don't make sense sometimes, or, that I'm like, what, did I really say that? But, it is what it is. But I felt like it almost was a message in a way to watch what I say this month maybe about this stuff too. See, that's what I was thinking. But, it could be both. Who knows? But Jenny, you're spot on when you said that about watch what you say, and watch your phone, watch your, make sure you don't, call people and talk about, blah, 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 and
I have dreams of people. They're not dreams because I remote view all the time. Like, sometimes I mean to do it. Sometimes I don't mean to do it and I just get sucked into it. Like the other night I had a really intense one. But I've been seeing people on my roof, seeing people outside my house that not literally, but in dream time, and they're listening to me. They have their earphones on and they're listening to every word I'm saying. And this, whether this is literal or symbolic, what this is a way for them to let me know they know everything I'm doing. They're listening to every word. They know everybody I'm talking to. They know what I'm thinking. That, and it's not just me. It's a lot of people. It's seekers. Everybody is being targeted right now. So just be careful. Get your shield.
Somebody wrote, isn't he a Satan worshiper? And if you watch anything on him, he went to this Christian school called like Hell. It starts with an H. Hillcrest or something or whatever. I went to Hillcrest Christian Academy. He grew up in Ohio. I grew up in Pittsburgh. He was not like, he rebelled. He just did things a little. He's got Venus in Aquarius. He's got a couple rebellious planets. He did and then you took it to an art and then took it to an extreme because he likes to get a reaction out of people. That's like one of his favorite things.
Oh, yeah.
And quite honestly, so think about that. I mean, because he was really upset with that Columbine thing. He had to like live. He said like they were trying to kill him. People wanted him dead. I mean, he lived in a lot of fear. But I'm going to tell you, he was so close with his parents. So close. Okay. His chart, his mom, very close with his mom, very close with his dad. And they supported him. And I saw interviews of the dad. So quite honestly, like, you can't sit here and he was definitely, I think personally, he played a part, that was his part. He joined the groups. Like, I would be a Mason just to see what goes on in the Masons, quite honestly. It's me.
Well, there goes your chance.
I don't know.
Opportunity.
I know, right? Yeah.
So, okay. let's oh God, we could really get into this. We should get into this another time where we really delve into like all those people that run in those circles and because they're conflicted, you know, that, and that's one thing for certain is that there are people that have been in those circles, in those secret societies, of which there are many, and they are conflicted. They want out, but they can't because they signed the contract in blood. They've done something. They have compromised themselves in a way where if they speak out, if they step out of that circle, they will die. The people they love will die. Horrible things will happen. And so, you know, we have to take things like that into consideration, is that there is a war going on right now. And, you know, you can choose to ignore it, or you can choose to try to expose it and work through it. Okay. But it affects everybody, and it affects everybody differently. So do you want to do some chats?
Yeah. So somebody wrote, what did somebody just write?
No, the comments are killing me tonight. You guys are hilarious.
I know.
I love the crew we have tonight.
First of all, Pittsburgh. I don't live in Pittsburgh anymore, just so you know. I stay away from that place like the plague.
Oh my God.
I go there unfortunately if somebody dies or Christmas.
Oh, I have such a pounding headache right now.
All right. So this is the chart we're going to do. So we're not going to do, you know, I'm not doing charts like for everybody. What I said earlier, that we would do the one chart that I promised somebody from the Leak Project. I'll do something real quick on the person that donated. Thank you very much. You did not do that, but that's real quick. It's like 2 seconds. And then we're going to do Jenny. You have somebody too. And then we'll pull a card for the elements. Should we do that first? Let's do that first.
Okay. So we'll actually do 5 because there are 5 elements. My favorite movie, The Fifth Element. There's no accidents for that. Although the 5th element is not a being, it is ether, which is the element of spirit. Okay. And that affects everybody. Everybody has the ether element. Everybody is influenced by it, born into it. We are part of it. It is part of us. So we'll do earth, water, air, fire, and ether, or spirit, whatever you prefer.
Okay. And then
I'm scared. I don't want to do the water one. I don't want to know.
Just for a week, guys. This is just until next week when we do one for the whole month. Okay.
Okay. So like the next 7 days.
Or no, let's just have it for the full moon for tomorrow. The full moon.
Full moon. Perfect.
Full moon in the week, like for the week.
Okay. Okay. Let's do that. So let's do fire.
Okay.
Fire, right? Mm-hmm. And remember, guys, listen, this is why it helps to know a lot about your chart. So if you have a high concentration of fire in your chart, this is for you. Okay. If you have a fire moon, well, remember, we keep meaning to do moon signs because the moon is the most, you know, as per Cliff High, I really think there's a lot of weight to what he said about the moon sign bearing a huge influence on your psychology, on your life. So the moon signs are really important. So wait, what's my moon?
You're a moon in Pisces.
Okay.
I like to say to everybody, if you're, go by this, your ascendant is what's going to happen to you like real time. Go by all 3. Okay. So your ascendant is what's going to happen to you. And you can put a story together. What's going to happen to your real time life, body, like exterior, how your health could be, or stuff like this. Like, am I going to be in an accident, or am I going to, you know, hit the lottery? Okay. Then the moon is how you feel. So how you're going to be feeling. The sun, maybe how you're at work, possibly, or, you know, how the public sees you through your friends, something like that. So I go by all of them. I never, ever, ever just listen to one. And I listen to my rising sign, Western way and Vedic way. I listen to them all. So, because your signs will change and you'll have to watch other videos to see that. Okay. So what did we say we're doing first?
Fire.
And this is just for this full moon and just this week. So then next week we'll do something for all the signs or all the nakshatras. And if you don't know what it is, pick one. So say, okay, Heidi, I'm going to tune into Heidi and Jenny's energy, and I'm going to be an air sign. You know, just do that.
Have fun. Have fun, you guys.
Yeah. What'd you get?
I thought Jenny's moon was in Ardra. Those are two different.
Oh, yeah, it is. Thanks. What did I say?
Moon in Pisces?
Oh, God. Yeah, that's me. I have the moon in Pisces. Jenny has a moon in Gemini.
Heidi, you're confusing me.
Sorry, I know. I wasn't even because this is what happens.
Wait, so I am affected. So
you're a Pisces ascendant, you're a Gemini moon, and you're
Gemini moon. Got it.
And you're a Pisces sun. So go with Pisces.
Okay. What if I want to go with Gemini?
Well, go ahead. Go with Ardra.
Ardra. Okay.
So, ready?
Yeah. I'm so mad at you right now.
Sorry.
Pisces moon, my ass.
Pick one. I'm getting good stuff for the fire signs. Money, messages, good messages, money, and happiness. So it looks like it looks more positive on my end.
I can't even though. I can't even pull these cards right now. Yeah. I can't even.
You have to. You have no choice.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Something in my eye. It's making me cry
a little bit.
That's when Heidi cries, when there's something in her eye.
Right. I just have something in both my eyes.
Oh.
I have never seen Heidi cry. Heidi, how many times have I cried to you?
You're crying. No, I'm not even gonna. Never mind. It's like a sporadic second.
Right. And then I'm like, okay, I'm good.
And you're like, all right, well, what the hell?
I can't.
Oh. I'm just like, Jenny, can you pull me a card? Jenny, can you pull me a card? Jenny, what do you think this could mean? Jenny, what do you think this could mean?
And then we flip out and then we're like, okay, we're good. Okay. Okay. Fire. Wow. Yuck. Yikes. Okay. No, it's fine. Everything's fine.
All right. So some are going to get some good for me. Some are going to get some. That happens though, you know?
No, it totally. Nothing is ever all good or all bad. That we live in a dualist. This world is all about duality. There's always going to be dark, always going to be light. Oh man. I dropped my card. Okay. Would you like to start?
Huh?
Do you want to start?
No, I already said mine.
What was it? What did you say?
So I have the Taurus card. So you might be dealing with a Taurus, okay, person in your life, just in my opinion.
A stubborn dude.
Yeah, Tauruses are stubborn, but it looks, if it is, okay, but or maybe a Taurus can come into your life, somebody with Taurus energy, and bring you a message, bring you money, it could be a good relationship, could be happiness, opportunities, and it's good health, near flowers, highest fulfillments and hopes. Sounds pretty freaking good from my side. So what about you, Jenny?
All right, so I have the Star, the Magician, Temperance, and the 10 of Swords, which is like super weird because the Star, the Magician, and Temperance is all about, like, you know, I mean, those three cards, you can't narrow it down. But I mean, we're looking at,
well, there's a lot of signs. So think about it. Like there's a lot of signs within that. So there's going to be multiple messages. Not everyone that's a Aries and that's a, you know, fire sign is going to have a great week. That's for sure.
Well, here's the thing is, like, if I was going to take these three major arcana, the Star, the Magician, and the Art card, also known as Temperance, they are sort of given their flavor and given their dignity by this card, which is the 10 of Swords, which is probably my least favorite card. I love all my cards dearly, but this one comes with its set of red flags because it really is that when everything has just fallen apart and you've hit rock bottom. So, but then, you know, when we look at Temperance and we look at the Magician, this is like strategy and really creative ways of maneuvering and navigating through this rubble, through turmoil. So something really, really serious has happened, big mistake, something happened that you may not have been expecting, because the Star is about unexpected things happening. This is like miracles. This could be anything from miraculous occurrence to something unexpected where there may have even been magic involved. There may have been some kind of influence, somebody doing something totally unexpected. But this is about navigating through a really, really unexpected and unfortunate situation, being really creative, quick on your feet, and then learning from whatever shit just hit the fan and not doing it again. Okay, fire?
Yeah, you know what I just thought of? Because I always listen to Sagittarius and Aries because that's my Western way. And all my horoscopes were like so great for this month, which is weird because they're usually so negative. I'm just so the person that I'm going to do her reading for her in here, she's a Libra rising, her moon's in Sag. So that could be for you. That could be for you. That could be, you have a lot of, you're a Sag moon, a sun in Scorpio, and you have some water in your chart and your ascendant's Libra. You're a mix. So you probably need to hear all of them. It's like, that's what I meant. You know, you have to listen to kind of all of them. All right. So then let's go with water. Right? Water.
Okay.
Water.
No. All right.
Oh, it'll be fine.
It's fine. Everything's good. This is my birthday month. Listen, you guys.
Jenny Moonstone, March 15th.
March 15th. You know it. I'll be 29. I'm an old lady now.
How old? No, you don't have to say it on there.
I'm 29.
Oh, okay.
Oh, were you going to ask how old?
No, I was like, you don't have to say it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So water.
Once I'm 30, I'll stop telling people how old I am.
Yeah. I like 33 though. That's how old I am. And I really like the 33. It's a nice.
Okay. Water.
Got the Queen of Wands and some. That doesn't mean it's bad.
I've been coming up as the Queen of Wands lately, which is like, I'm not even going to say it.
But you know, when I look at this card, I'm using this astrological tarot deck.
Okay.
So it looks a lot different in this.
It's really pretty though.
Yeah, it's a woman, obviously a queen in a castle with a Leo, and it's funny because this is like, there's like a lion there. She looks like happy. She doesn't look like, she just looks strong. She doesn't look like all wacky. So I look at that like she's claiming her power, like claiming that back, getting her stuff together. So Scorpios, Pisces, and who else is water? Cancer. This is definitely going to be a week. That's it. This is just for the week. So a week of getting your power, getting into control. Just get in control. Don't be losing it. Like, don't get all emotionally wrapped up like you could. That's the first. What is like recording from my phone is recording or something?
Oh yeah, that's Jeff Bezos. He wants to know what you're doing, Heidi.
Oh, you know that beep when you record somebody? It's literally beeping.
My phone's been doing that too. Like in my back pocket, it's just like talking to me. It's so.
Hold on, I'm not done with those two. So do you have a card?
Yeah, I actually have a couple. I have the 10 of discs, the 3 of what?
I have the Lovers reversed.
Can we not? Okay. So the 10 of discs, the 3, I'm gonna throw up. The 3 of discs, the Princess of discs, and the Queen and the Queen of Swords. All right, so my water people.
All right, water people, look, here's the deal. Somebody's either coming back from the past, take control, whatever you want. Look at it that way. Let me see something.
There's a lot here about work. There's a lot here about the 3 of discs and the 10 of discs. This is all about priorities, focus. All right, taking something that may be a little bit, something that throws you off, something that is, because so I have 2. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. This never happens to me. I I'm just a little bit, because like I told you guys, I'm like super like emotional lately, and I always like to separate myself from these readings, okay? Because it's not about me. This is about all my water people, okay? So there's a huge emphasis here on allowing the people in your life, whether they're your adversaries or whether they're people that you're friendly with, allowing all of your perspectives of other people to make you better. So whether you're looking at somebody and you're like, oh, you know, this person is doing really, really well in the workplace, allow that, instead of allowing that to make you feel down, allow that to make you do better and feel better. The 10 of discs also, this is Sagittarius and Virgo. So this is about being practical, being organized, not allowing, again, because this is a really, really impulsive, watery time right now. So counter that by being extra practical, by being extra logical, that you can't add more water and psychic energy and sensual energy into the mix right now. It's not going to work. You have to go against your nature, water people, and you have for a little while to survive this transit. And you have to make yourself really, really practical, because it doesn't come natural to water people to be very organized and systematic and that sort of thing. But now is the time to focus on productivity. Now is the time to focus on healthy competition in the workplace and at home, and forcing yourself to do the things that are more mundane, things you don't really love to do, but you have to do those things. That's how you counter all the water right now.
Personally, like, here's the deal too. I just like put these things, I'm doing something different that I just decided to do yesterday. Okay, you are in control. In my message, not my message. You're in control. You can do some awesome things and manifest some amazing things right now. I have the strength card. I have these two things. So it says a friendship can turn into love. So that's possible for some of you. There can be assaults that are threatened and will occur. So somebody might have to deal with like their ex coming back out of the blue, trying to assault them. Who knows? Watch out. People are nuts. Okay. And then just know you have strength. You can push through it. Don't give in. Don't cave. Don't fall for their, if it's something like that. Now, I also look at it like something good. There's two energies, or something really good can happen. Either you could get back with somebody from the past, maybe. That's what happens with the retrogrades, Jupiter and Mercury. Lots of things come. They'll start chiming in. You'll notice this month, all your exes will come back.
Yeah, leave it
happens every time.
The past has nothing new for you. Leave it where it stands. Leave it back there.
Yeah, I kind of look like, I think, yeah, that's probably.
All right.
Next is air.
Air.
Air would be Libra, Gemini. What else is air? Why am I like drawing
Aquarius.
A blank? How am I drawing a blank? Oh yeah, Aquarius. Because
Aquarius is misleading.
No. Aquarius is, let me tell you something. Don't get me started on Aquariuses, because I'm like so attracted to them. They're a mess. Okay. They're the worst, like when it comes to.
Maybe that's why you like me so much.
They live in outer space.
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding. No, I like Aquariuses. Most of my clients are Aquariuses. They're probably like, what? You don't like it? No.
Someone just said no thoughts. I love it. Thought is like a new slur.
I'm going to tell you, Aquarius energy is some of the most brilliant energy. They are probably one of the strong. An Aquarius moon is probably one of the smartest signs that there are. Believe it or not.
Because they get everything. They get everything. They understand.
They get things like everything, like exterior and outer space. Like their minds go that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, Aquarius.
All right.
Wait, what's Aquarius now? I'm sorry. Air. Oh God, I'm totally losing it right now.
Aquarius is what? Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra.
Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. This is for you. What? Stop.
I'm freaking laughing because I'm so out of it right now.
Me too.
And I'm in a good mood. It's you just can't find this often.
Who votes that Heidi and I do another drunk video?
Oh, you know how many people said bad things that I have to disarm? Oh, you know, another thing that can come up during this time is like people that have been sex trafficked and all that stuff. I noticed Ivanka Trump put something up, posted I've been on a tweeting rampage, a tweeting rampage.
A twitting rampage.
I hate Twitter. Okay, I don't even have a lot of followers, but that's why I say things on there because no, I don't have that many followers.
Nobody can see it. You're on
no, so, but I talk to everybody else that I want to talk to.
Yeah,
and I said something really nice to Ivanka. She said about something about all the sex trafficking and that these people need to be held to justice, like held accountable, blah blah blah. And I just said a nice message, like I really support you. The Trumps are unstoppable. It's really blah blah blah. And I got all these crazy like women. You could tell they're probably, whatever. And they were like, this office is so corrupt. This is this. I was like, you're entitled to your own opinion, smiley face. And then I just blocked them. Normally I would have like busted their heads in,
Yeah, but yeah.
Crazy.
Conserve your energy. Yeah. Okay. Air signs.
What do you have? Aquarius need to do some interflecting. Oh, wait, and at Libras. And Libras.
Interflecting.
Interflecting. Is that even a word?
No, it's not.
Interflecting, isn't it? So good. What's a word today?
Oh my God.
It's part of Heidiism.
All right, Air, listen. We got to talk. So I have the 5 of Swords, the Ace of Wands, Death, and the Hermit.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Jeez.
Oh, I have the Hermit too.
Okay, so we'll put...
And the 9 of Swords.
Jeez. Okay. So...
Or air signs.
Oh, my ear just started ringing so hard right now.
Disappointment in love.
Okay. So the Hermit, we're going to put emphasis on the Hermit because...
Enemies with the Hermit for some reason. I have the enemy. The mountains nearby indicate the presence of a mighty enemy.
Yikes. Well, okay. Because my Hermit here also is accompanied by the Death card and the 5 of Swords. The 5 of Swords is a card of sort of mental, when you have no more left to give, no more mental energy left to give. There's a lot of guilt associated with this card. When you're kind of just, I mean, it's a card of defeat. Okay. It is actually, oh, interesting. It's Venus and Aquarius. So this is an Aquarian card. Venus and Aquarius, I mean, you know more about how Venus feels in Aquarius than I do. But that's kind of, what is
like, I think some of that energy, there's a lot of Venus-y energy. So for the air signs, they might leave people.
Right.
Like they might see you later.
Leave something in the past, leave an issue alone, just, put it to bed.
Maybe leave the bad patterns that, you used to escape and just say, see you later, and ground down to something maybe.
Yeah. And
oh my gosh, ground down to something. And I pull the strategy card.
There you go. There you go. Focus, prioritize. And the Death card also, the Death and the Hermit card together, this is about being really, really introspective and being really, really honest with yourself. And the Death card has a lot to do with killing a part of yourself or ending a part of yourself, and that metamorphosis and killing those patterns, recognizing them, which is painful, and having to come to terms with them and the reality of it and saying, no more. You're done, you're dead, time for something new. And that's when the Ace of Wands comes in. And the Ace of Wands is new passion, new fire, and a motivation, a real new motivation and desire to do things completely differently. So this is a great opportunity for the air signs to do something totally different, however scary it may seem. Don't allow guilt or shame to hold you back. Recognize your patterns, recognize that they don't serve you anymore, and allow your voice to be the loudest voice in the room in terms of what goes on in your head. Don't allow yourself to be judged or belittled or beaten down by the people around you. Their opinions really don't matter. right now you're being guided to listen to your inner voice above all other things, because it's not going to lie to you right now.
And this card has a bird. This is the Two of Pentacles per this astrology deck, but it has a bird. Okay, let me see. Focus. Can you see it? And then there are two signs. I think it's Mercury. I'm reading it backwards. It's like Mercury. Don't read those. And it looks like Capricorn. And maybe you're balancing two people. There's a bird. It's, when I'm looking at this, when you just said, maybe you're getting rid of, you have two opportunities, two people, you don't know who to choose. Don't go back to the same old trash you used to pick. Go for the new.
Who's making trouble in the chat? Is somebody?
Who is?
I don't know. Is somebody making trouble? Mods, we put a lot of we have a lot of trust in you guys, so just use your power for good. If somebody's acting up, you have full power.
Now we have Earth, Virgo,
yes,
Capricorn, Taurus. Another one of my favorite signs. Taurus.
I like Taurus. They don't really like me, but
no, I have a lot of Taurus, like people. I have Rahu and Taurus. So Rahu's in Taurus, just like you have Rahu in Aquarius. I have Rahu in Taurus. Mine's in my 7th house. Yours is in your 12th. So my relationships have a lot of Taurian in them. Lots of them. Yep. Anyway.
Yep.
So next, Earth. I have the Aquarius, the star card.
Okay.
But it's it looks pretty.
It looks pretty.
This is the astrology one. So maybe you're dealing with an Aquarius. So maybe some sign is dealing with an Aquarius or Aquarius energy. Okay. And seriously, when I see this card, because this is not like the normal deck, she's holding this vase and taking all these like jewels and just throwing them into the earth. It's like a pretty card. And like abundance, like give. Maybe you should give too, not be so stingy, because sometimes that earth energy can be, be a little stingy. Not all the time. Some are too generous, but what do you have?
I have 2 court cards. I have the Prince of Swords and the Princess of Wands. Court cards are kind of hard to dignify, especially in such a broad context as a sign. But I have the 9 of Wands and the 7 of Swords. There's a lot of caution here. There's a lot of being careful. The Prince of Swords and the 7 of Swords, these 2 cards in particular have a lot to do with secrets and secrecy and keeping things to yourself because you think it's going to get you ahead, or you think it's best not to be honest, or it's best to sort of show a certain face, but really you're hiding something. But then we have the Princess of Wands and the 9 of Wands. So I'm thinking the swords are for the males and the wands are for the females. And the females are being asked, the female earth signs right now are being asked to evoke a lot of fire energy. So sort of, whereas the earth is made up of all the elements, there's everything in the earth element. You're being asked to channel the root powers of fire. To see yourself through some kind of a challenge, because the 9 of Wands are all about some kind of a challenge, one last big thing that needs to be dealt with before you can get to that 10, which is that place of completion, or at least it's that temporary place where you can kind of set your burdens down for a little while and look forward to the next issue, because there's always issues. But in any case, I want to let the male earth signs know, be very careful with theft, be very careful not to be a taker. I think you're right, because this is about, stinginess. Sometimes seven of swords has a lot to do with being a taker and not a giver. Whether you realize it or not, what you're going to want to do is allow yourself to be vulnerable, and not be vampiric.
And don't attach so much to the money, like to the, because honestly, here's the deal with that, what I see, because I pulled different decks, different cards. So that's what I said at first, then I see like this, like, but then the woman holding a coin, this is definitely all about money. And Taurus and Capricorn, this is money coming up right now too. So she's holding on to her coin with her cat, like, and that's like, I just look at that card. It's good. It means there's money coming in. So, but then somebody is averting, like you can avert evil. Somebody is doing something behind the scenes to like try to sabotage this money or this happiness. And it could be like spells and stuff like that. And I'm going to be honest, earth signs aren't really so spellish. Okay. They like crystals. They might like some wand, or I call them wands, rods, but they're not going to be like, they're not necessarily into so much magic. So it almost looks like some Aquarius is
fire and water.
Yeah. So, but then, so maybe an Aquarius is trying to like put some, well, that totally makes sense too. Oh my God. So maybe Aquarius is, or your opposite sign for Capricorns. Wait, no, hold on. Let me think. That would make sense. You have a lot of opposite energy because we're doing 3 people. So you have a lot of energy that is jealous of you, that is like trying to put spells on you, trying to not make you be successful, but you definitely have success because happiness, prosperous marriage, maybe a friend can, you also got that. A friendship can turn into love. So, that's good. Good stuff. Looks like it's a love romantic month for some of you guys. Did we get everybody? Yeah.
Well, we're going to do ether real quick, and then we're going to do the,
well, wouldn't ether, that's air, right?
No, ether spirit. It's the 5th element.
So who would that be?
Everybody.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. I was like, wait, are we missing some signs?
This is for everybody.
For Rahu and Ketu, the collective consciousness.
Yes, perfect. There you go.
This is for your Rahu and Ketus. Find out where those sit. Okay. I'm going to do one for Rahu and one for Ketu.
Me too.
Rahu?
I hate Rahu. I have such a love-hate relationship with Rahu. Rahu wants to just
Ketu making money. Ketu has the Ace of Pentacles, and that's so good once again for cryptos. Oh. And Ketu, or Rahu, as the 7 of Cups. It looks like abundance. That's exciting.
Did you say Ketu?
No, Rahu is the 7 of Cups, but that's so Rahu, indulging, a lot of money.
I got the 5 of Cups.
Wow.
Which is betrayal, loss, detachment, sorrow, and it's highly emotional, and it's like tears and breakups and all that stuff. Family issues with friends, issues with like you start a project, and then you like run out of steam, and you're like, what? I can't believe I ever cared about this. That sort of thing.
Okay, it looks like the nodes Rahu and Ketu. There's going to be a lot of like. This is just for a week.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's funny. Okay, this is a week, guys. Okay, but obviously it's a powerful week. So look, there's definitely some maybe people distance trying to sabotage you. Then I see there's definitely some lucky and unlucky events. Looks like K2 is going to be more powerful though, in my opinion, which totally makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And then I have the fortune card, which I really love this just as a general oracle card, because this is all about the cycles of life and things moving forward. You can't stop it. Time will not change. Time will not stop for anybody. And so this is about things coming up, things going away. Time passes no matter what. This too shall pass. So what's a really, really big deal yesterday won't seem like such a big deal tomorrow. Next week, it'll be something else. Then the week after that, it'll be something else. So just try to relax.
And then
I'm going to get through this.
So everybody, I just subliminally like asked for Bitcoin card for money. And I pulled the Wheel of Fortune Jupiter. And it's a good one. And
nice.
Right beside K2.
You pulled the Wheel of Fortune?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, that's awesome. So look, So Rahu and Ketu are going to do probably some really good things to people and bad things. Well, that's what they do. I mean, they do good and bad. So sometimes they take and give, but they give and take with a price.
There's always a price.
Got to learn how to balance them. Get too attached to something, I promise you, Ketu will take it away.
Yes.
Get too obsessed with something, Rahu will rip it out of your hands. Like this is how this works. So you're here to learn how to balance this and balance this energy. So that's what you need to do. Balance the high, I want this, I want this, I want this. Sex, love, drugs, I don't know, whatever. Money. Okay. That's how Rahu goes. Ketu's like, I don't care. I don't care. But you can't be this way or this way. You have to be balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Now
let's do these charts.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you ready?
Go ahead. Give me the one you were gonna give.
All right. This is a female. I work with her. She's lovely. We're gonna call her J because I want to protect her name.
Yeah.
She was born March 30th, 1983 at 7:28 p.m. in Newton, Massachusetts. And 7:28 p.m.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, my head. I'm so hungry. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
We want to look at love.
Virgo. Okay, she's a Virgo ascendant. Well, she definitely could be having some relationship things happen right now.
Yeah, for sure.
She's got Jupiter and Scorpio. Virgo ascendant, nakshatra hasta. So she's definitely likes to be in control. She's good with her hands. She's probably a good cook. She's probably a perfectionist. Like when she, does things, she's very into the details,
Yes.
Critical, analytical,
very
things. Okay. But her moon is in Libra, which is really like, I want balance a little more. So she has a nice mix, in my opinion, like her moon's with Saturn. So she'll go through a lot of ups and downs with depression. She's probably getting kind of like a little topsy-turvy right now because Jupiter's conjunct her moon, making her feel optimistic, but Saturn's there. So Saturn's like, not that happy.
Like, not going to happen. Sorry. Yeah. Right.
People that have moon conjunct Saturn can tend to be a little like depressed. But I will say this, Saturn is exalted in Libra, so she could be a really good speaker, just a little shy. Like she would never say things like probably that we would say like on YouTube, she would never do it.
Right.
More calculated about what she says.
Oh yeah. We just had that conversation the other day where there's, something that she wants. And me, if there's something that I want or something, I see something I like, I go get it. Nothing will stop me. But I realize that not everybody's like that. And some people are far more strategic, calculated, and a little bit apprehensive, not sure how to do, they want to plan it out and do, say the right thing.
She's good. She'll be a good business owner, good speaker, good singer, like good at getting her point across. 1, 2, 3. She's got some issues with mother possibly. And I'm not going to go there, but she's very like wise too. She's got Jupiter and Scorpio. So she's like really good when it comes to her. Jupiter and Scorpio is great. Happy there. This is her third. She could even be a really good writer. Really good writer. Mm-hmm. Communicator, business. She's an entrepreneur. One day she'll have her own business.
She's an extremely hard worker. Like you've never seen anybody work as hard as this girl. Also, can we look at what's going on in the like relationships?
Yeah.
House, like
right now, her 7th house, which is why you're working with her, because her 7th house is Pisces.
Okay.
So, she's got Sun and Mercury there. So she's, her Sun is at Pisces, and she probably likes animals, and she's gonna have issues with relationships. Some issues. I mean, there's Sun and Mercury there in Pisces. I mean, it's not that easy. But so right now she's going to be probably making a lot of decisions. Let me see something else.
Does it look like it gets any better in relationships?
I mean, she's in a Saturn dasha, so it depends. Like, well, if right now, is she in a relationship or is she not? Like
She is, but
it's easy to know what to do.
Very, very strained. I'm sorry, strained.
Strained or strange?
Strained.
Then yeah, it's probably time to get rid of it.
Right.
But
so do you think if she was to
patience, but the Hierophant reverse, no, it doesn't look good. Well,
no, the Hierophant reversed is like sort of flying in the face of dogma, flying in the face of rules, men's laws, like things like marriage, things.
Oh yeah, well, guess what else? The 10 of Pentacles.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I would say, what's weird? I mean, okay, let's see what this says. Gosh, losing things. All right, so some blocks in the heart energy, abandonment, grief of broken hearts lingering from the past. Yeah, so this is probably her own stuff. Whether it's recent or not, this blocked energy stops you from caring for yourself and attracting love from others. So it can create undercurrent and unhappiness that permeates your life. It's time to heal old stuck stuff, move on. Don't bypass the pain and pretend like it doesn't exist. Instead, ventilate the journal and release it in your journal. Maybe that, and then another thing, and I said writer, she needs to write.
Yeah.
Meditate on the heart, Raphael, to help bring clarity. Yeah, so I think maybe, okay, if she wants to be in this relationship, it looks like it can work if she fixes some stuff internally.
Well, there's a lot of communication that needs to take place, because I just pulled the Knight of Cups, the Princess of Wands, the Two of Discs. The Two of Discs is huge changes, transitioning, change of location, change of job, change of like your housing situation changes a lot, and also like physicality, like things change when it comes to like your health. And then the Four of Swords is truce. Okay, so this is coming to a conclusion, talking about it, getting things out on the table. What is it?
Fidelity.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally an issue. Okay, it is absolutely an issue. There's no hiding from it. I asked her, I was like, how deep into this do you want to go?
Wait, is this him doing it or him? Okay, let me help you with this one.
He's not good.
Yeah, let me tell you. I'll help you. This is one thing I'm really good at.
She is.
If somebody is doing something shitty like that, you need to move on. You're the one that's going to try to suck that in and can I fix it? Is it me? No. Fuck him. See you later. Pound sand. See you later. You're very Virgos will stick things out and try to make things work until the very last second to see if they can fix it and fix it and things and maybe I can do this, maybe I can do that. Let me tell you, you can't. And your 7th house has that problem. This is something you need to learn for the next one, to be aware of these things and make sure it doesn't happen again. This guy taught you some lessons, but this is the time to be bold. Let me put you another card. Yeah. I just got heated.
The Princess of Wands is about she is so
judgment.
She's so brave. Judgment, that's the law too.
Yeah, and this card is you're sad. Yeah, look, you need to teach this one a lesson. Because he's the King of Swords. Horrible. No.
Oh, look, who's that? What'd you just pull?
King of Swords.
Oh, I just got the Queen of Swords.
See? Not good.
Well, because there is a mistress.
Has she called him out? Are they married?
Yeah.
Oh, God. See, and Libra moons will try to, so many Libras or Virgos that I know would really try to oh, do they have kids?
I don't want to comment on that.
You can give me smoke signals.
Smoke signals.
Send me a text.
2 winks for yes, 1 wink for no. I just don't want to, I don't want to, I mean, she's totally anonymous, so it doesn't even matter. But it's
Yeah.
What is that? What was that?
The Eight of Swords. You got to get out of this. You got to get out.
You know what? And I really think that she knows that.
Yeah.
But sometimes we like to hold on to our idea of what we think is right. And the idea that marriage is, you know, we gave our vows, we made our promises, but when somebody else is not upholding their end of those vows, that is your permission and your legal right to exit out of those vows because it's not being upheld. And I think what she may need to hear right now is that things really can get to a place that she never thought they could get to, a place of success, a place of satisfaction that she never saw possible. But you have to be brave. If you don't make changes, nothing will change unless you're willing to do it.
Jupiter, you're having like next year after this, like this year, Jupiter's kind of in a rough spot. And then you'll have Jupiter that goes into your third house soon, at the end of this year. And then you'll probably meet somebody new and it will be so much better. Like, don't worry. I mean, you have awesome opportunities right now. You have Rahu in your 11th. That's great for money, big gains, big thing, like money, change of network, groups, friends. You know, it's going to weed out friends. Okay, let me tell you, when I got divorced, a lot of my friends, I would say all my friends probably aren't my friends anymore. And I've set them up with my exes. Like I set my best friend up with my fiance. And it's not that's not why we're not friends, but you'll just kind of like, you're going to have my whole life changed. I moved from Kent Island over to the Annapolis, very close, but I'm still there, you know, like across the bridge. My whole everything changed. Thinking about that on my way home from work today. I was like, I haven't talked to some of those friends that were a big part of my life since I've moved to Maryland in years, but it's okay. I mean, because look what I'm doing now. I would have never done this if I was married. You know, you learn and you have all the success. Like you need to speak up.
Absolutely. I have the Moon, the Two of Swords, the Three of Cups, and the Ten of Swords. So the Two of Swords is about truth and untruth. So really seeing the situation for what it is and like forgetting all of your emotional attachments and all of your dreams and wishes and everything that you had attached to this vision that you had and seeing things plainly for exactly what they are. And then the Moon is about that kind of bravery that overtakes you when you're in, there's almost an impulsivity to it. And the thing about it is like a Virgo is not the most emotional person. So they won't make decisions based on emotions.
They worry a lot. They worry. They analyze everything.
Yes. But this is an opportunity to make a decision based on what your heart is telling you. And your heart is really telling you to go with the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is about this is about a more jovial, relaxed, casual, exciting kind of sensual, flirtatious interaction where it's like somebody's very good looking or somebody has a great, you know, magnetism about them and you feel something different. And if you don't usually feel that because your relationship sucks, this is an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to allow myself to sort of see what goes on over here and allow yourself, see how that makes you feel. And it may be that what is necessary to really put this nasty relationship behind you, which is the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is when things are just done, is this kind of, it's almost the impulse of saying, you know what, I'm gonna try this out. And it's hard. It's hard for a Virgo because a Virgo is not a Pisces. What?
They're stubborn too. Like my Virgo friends that I have, they're like Virgo risings and Virgo moons. They will never make that decision. Like they would rather that person have like this sounds so crazy, but like they'd rather something happen to that person than leave because it's like these morals.
Yeah, that's what it is. She has the highest morals of all.
Like she doesn't want to look like a failure too. That's another thing with Virgo energy.
Exactly.
They don't want other people to think they failed. It's like it's tough. It's tough to deal with. Yeah.
But
because you like people to think everything's perfect. You have that facade.
Well, right. And the whole facade is like, you know, in the eyes of the law or in the eyes of God, that the marriage is still, you know, is something that can be saved. And it's like, honestly, sometimes it can't be. If both people were on board, that's different. But you can only give somebody so many chances before they show you with their actions, which speak louder than words, repeatedly, you know, what it is that they really, how they really feel and where they're really at with it. So I really hope that that helps, Jay. We'll talk about it more.
Okay, so next is the super chat person. So super chat, where did you come up with this time? The DM, the one that sent $20. Okay, this is the last super chat we're gonna do too. So because you're 16, not even a degree of an Aries. So like 100%, if that didn't come from your birth certificate, like if your mom even just said that, or you just heard that, I can't read this, but I mean, hold on. Is DM, whoever this person is, was he born at 8:30 on the dot, 8:30 p.m.? Looks like no. Okay, so I'm gonna have to give you like kind of a reading that pretends like I don't know your time. Your moon is in Revati, the same as mine. You and I think the same way, believe it or not. So you probably like music. You like animals. You know, you are very psychic. I have a really nice side, even though I act a little bit different here. Soft, emotional, but more like kind of likes their alone time too. You might have K2 in your first house, which means you're a lot like me. Issues in relationships, but we don't know 100%. And if that's the case, you could have issues with relationships. You know, you get into the wrong relationships. You feel like you can't be yourself. You kind of feel like an alien every once in a while. You have a ton of planets in Virgo. So you're a perfectionist. You like things a certain way. You're very critical. You have a debilitated Venus like me. You have a lot of similarities like me. Your son's in Leo like mine. Interesting. So, I mean, I would give you, let's go with some cards because I can't really say, I don't know if I trust this time. Especially the rod said no. So, and what that means, even if it's on your birth certificate at that time, because you're so close, if the doctors recorded it wrong, like you were born 2 minutes, your whole ascendant would change.
Wow. That's
you would be a car. Well, hold on. Is that crazy?
That is nuts, and it's like unfortunate.
You would be a Pisces ascendant.
Your whole life is a lie.
Your whole life shifts 100% within 2 minutes. All right, so we can only pull a couple cards. What do you have?
Let's see. Do we have a name?
DM. DM. That's all I have. So we don't, I'm going to read the first card that I pulled, so maybe you can get something from this first.
Okay.
So this card is the Goddess of the Moon reversed. So blocked intuition, inner disconnect, living in the dark. You have a deep desire to know the purpose and the truth, but you're distant. This message is dissatisfaction where your inner life is concerned, extreme worry, discontent, obstacles, inner peace. You got to get rid of these blocks. Your soul, your higher self knows the best. So you have a lot of blocks. And quite honestly, I pulled, it looks like it could be money, worrying about money.
I've got what looks like a relationship here, and maybe even a marriage or some kind of a relationship that is bound in some way, like marriage, the Emperor, the Ace of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and the Hermit. So I don't know what's going on with this person. Saturn, listen, the Emperor is Saturn. This is the patriarchy, rules, jobs that take a lot of your time, people that take a lot of your time and your energy. And the Ace of Cups, obviously, this is a card of emotion. This is a card of initiation as well. The Queen of Wands, she's very, very cunning. She's very smart, manipulative. Manipulative is not always a bad thing. To be manipulative, you can use that for good. You can use your power of persuasion for good things. So that's a positive trait as well. Very calculated, very introspective, a really good ability to be self-aware. Not a lot of people, not everybody has the ability to really have self-awareness and see themselves for what they are. That's a challenge. But yeah, the Emperor is like it's a person that's very controlling, very domineering. It could be her. You said it's the Leo sun. A lot of Leo suns have the Emperor. Very, very domineering energy, very controlling, very loud, usually the loudest person in the room, the brightest person in the room, great hair, very good looking.
Something's ending, something's dying, and something needs to end. Yeah. That's my opinion.
All right.
So, yeah, I just pulled like something serious. Yeah, sorry guys, but yeah, I mean, it could, you know, there's maybe that could come in after, but something's got to go. Okay, so then this last one, we're not doing anymore. And I saw somebody, guys, no more, please, no more.
Seriously, no more. I can't. My head is.
I wish I could turn it off right now because we're not doing readings anymore. This is for the night. This is it. Thank you so much. I'll do yours, but that's it. No more. Please do not. Like this is a warning. If you do super chat, I will at least send you like a PDF of your charts. You have it, and you have to send it an email to me too. So. Okay. This is that other person that it's 11, 14, 19, 68. Okay. Lots of Virgo energy in here. Okay. Yeah. So Libra ascendant, moon and Sag with Venus. So very artistic, very creative writer, or creative, like, this is somebody that really likes to, you think very, I don't know, you like to make people pretty, make people look better. You could be like a good teacher, or Moon Venus is somebody that's very, you know, it's good for art and creativity, very good. So your moon is always thinking of Venus-y things. So, you know, love, romance, luxury, what nice things.
Could this be someone that like matches other, like their friends up with each other, like thinks that they know who's compatible with who, like a matchmaker, like, oh my God, like setting people up on dates. I can see that happening.
Or it could be somebody that makes people look better, you know, like
a makeup artist.
Could be. I mean, you have that talent. Let's just put it that way. You're good with your hands. It could be like Reiki, gardening, that kind of thing too. But then you have Mars and K2 in Virgo. You're a hell of an investigator. Like Mars, K2, and Jupiter in Virgo. And this is like, you definitely work. You have to work in some kind of service. You want to be a humanitarian. You want to serve. Literally, you might want to just be like, if you had all the money in the world, I would say you would probably start a lot of freaking nonprofits or something like that. Like you have just all that. But you could have had some issues with a brother, power struggles with brothers, men. It's kind of a rough chart, so I can't say too much here.
So, I have the 8 of Swords, which is interference. This is all about, like, you know, you get going with something, some kind of a mental or, you know, a business venture, something with like a new job, or you're going to travel, and there's just like this person has delays. Like, so we're talking about for the full moon. Okay, we're talking about her right now. There may be small things that get in your way and that cause delays and make things a little bit more difficult than they really need to be, but that could just have a lot to do with the retrogrades going on right now. What is this? What is going on? Something
I think could be ending, but somebody's missing you. So maybe somebody comes back from the past. I mean, Jupiter's in your first house right now, so you know it's bringing opportunities to you. So it could be a relationship. It could be, but maybe once again you have like some. Let me pull you a card here. Ah, looks like somebody's coming in. Did I just lose you, Jenny? I think Jenny left the building. So this is positive. Money, a man with a coin. It's good. It's not bad. Okay, it's good stuff. So looks like somebody that looks like Fabio is coming into your life and he might have money. It could be somebody like a partner, business partner too. But I would say there were kind of a lot of like love cards too. So, all right, the last one I'm going to do. Looks like we lost Jenny. Okay. So Harry, let's see. Before I do this, so I know somebody wanted a Rod question. One of my moderators did. 12/21/1976. Okay. All right. So you are a Leo ascendant. So very blunt, very creative. When you walk into a room, people will notice you. It's in the nakshatra of Maga, the same as Donald Trump. So you kind of like to sit on a throne, like probably like your plate's warmed. I know that's so random. You might not, but you might. It's ruled by Mars. You'd be really good in real estate, really good at like anything with creativity, like getting yourself out there in the public, doing stuff like YouTubes and any kind of business, real estate. I mean, really good with real estate, developing property, developing land, any kind of engineering or just came out. Any kind of business, quite honestly. I see a lot of people that are Leo risings, like they're architects, designers, just like anything creative. You have to be creating something. They don't really like to work for other people. They like to think on their own. When you walk into a room, people kind of just notice you. And you don't even have to say anything, nor do you care. It's kind of like the dignified part of Leo. Sometimes musicians come out of this, actors, writers, anything like that. You don't sleep well. You can have a lot of expenses, but it's good for money. Money can come up, but money can go down. This is good for business. Trading, stock trader, you'd be good at that. You have a lot of planets in Sagittarius. So right now you're having some sixth house. So you'll have a lot of expenses, a little imbalance of that. And, or I'm sorry, in your fifth house. A lot of expenses. You can have that right now. But you can make a lot of money, like big gains. So you are a moon in Sag, but I'll say to you, emotionally, you're going to feel really confused. You might go through some ups and downs. For the next 2.5 years, this would be great for finance, like money, business, luck. It's any kind of trading, like, so if you traded stocks or if you traded Bitcoin, this is good for that. But, or cryptos or whatever. But you'll have expenses too. So 12, 11, 10, 9. Okay, we'll just go with that. 10 of Pentacles, money's coming in. 6 of Pentacles, King of Swords. Maybe a relationship might be ending though. Something could be going on with relationships. I want to know if you are a crypto person, because your chart looks crypto. Okay, it does in a way. Look, it could be. Okay, so I'm so curious because the Strength card and then this card of the 9 of Wands. But when I look at this card, it's like he's holding on. It just I don't know, just funny. Just kind of cracks me up. All right. So, but it could be like a relationship you're holding on to that's toxic. It could be that too. Watch out for hidden enemies. Fierce enemies, actually. As I said that, I pulled a card of enemies. You could invert it. So just be on the lookout. Okay, so one other thing. You're a good investigator. You're a good researcher. You really have to watch out for hidden enemies right now. Okay, so lock your doors. I don't want to scare you, but like lock your doors. make sure you're, you just have it. Don't leave your phone around. Don't, okay, so I'm going to read you this card. It's a little spiritual side, okay? But you have the healer of all ages. Power being brings force, ancient wisdom, and profound healing, flowing to your love and powerful healing intention. This amazing entity is with you, bringing resolution to physical, mental, and emotional ills, helping you unblock stuck energy and revitalize your life force. You may have felt this strong presence recently, or you might be opening up to sensations. You can call upon this missionary of miraculous transformation, whatever you need, balance or renewal. Know at the deepest level, an important healing is taking place. And you know what? That's definitely the case for you, I would say. So Leo's, like Donald Trump's a Leo ascendant too. And so Donald Trump's a Leo ascendant as well. And, so you have there's opportunities in there, but he has to watch out for people from behind the scenes. Kind of watch his transits because, and also he has Saturn in his 12th like you. So he's been extremely successful. And you have Mars and Scorpios. That's good. You have a very strong chart. But you watch out for women. You can have a lot of expenses. And you can have hidden enemies that just come out of nowhere. And I don't know if I said this, but you probably don't sleep well. Yeah. It all reverse. I think you're going through some fights or something. So. Okay, Rod questions. Who had the Rod questions? All right. So I said I would answer a few. Oh my God, I've been talking so much all day. Past 2 days, 5 days. So this is how these work, okay? Terry, do you have any Rod questions? Harry, you too, since I did your chart. Good. Good to hear. I nailed it. Good. All right. So, and that's like just a quick, real readings with me are long. They're like an hour long. You can do a webinar, but right now I'm the next set. I haven't even emailed. So people have, I'm working on the readings. Let me just give you a little update where I'm at. People that paid on the 24th, 5th, and 6th, actually 24th and 5th of January, that's who I'm working on now. So you'll be getting called from me real soon, or a text message or an email. I have not even responded to people yet. So from the past 2 days, maybe 3, since I was on Rex's show. Move and change of job definitely could be. But we'll ask. Yes, I do drink. I drink Grey Goose, wine, Hendrick's gin, no bourbon. So, and I don't drink that much, just sometimes. Let's see. So anyway, yeah, I don't even know what I was saying. It's been a long day. I was looking for, somebody asked me if I would do a Rod question though in the chat from way earlier. I can't find. Does any of my moderators see it? And if you're new here, one other thing I'm going to say. So when I do just when you get a reading from me, this is Vedic. I use Vedic calculations. I use sidereal zodiac. So, there are even some Western astrologers that use sidereal zodiacs with, or use tropical zodiac with sidereal nakshatras, and it works for them. I don't use that. So I use strictly, sidereal zodiac, just so you know. Oh, what I was saying about my readings. Okay. So that if you get a real reading with me, it's longer. It's, this is nothing. 60 minutes. I have 2 options right now. You can do a Zoom webinar, and you can, and depending on what you want to talk about, the price varies. So I don't have prices on a website. If you're having issues with my website, you probably have a pop-up blocker on it or like a flash. And when you fill that information out, like if somebody just emails me and says, hey, you know, how much is a reading? I won't really respond. I might say, go to my website and fill it out, because I have to keep track a certain way. And if you don't know, I do real estate full time. My schedule changes every week. So I can't commit, like I can't say, oh yeah, here, I can't put a calendar on my phone and let people just, you know, do that. It's just impossible because my schedule changes. So, okay. Yeah, there she goes. Did Indian actress, I don't know how to say her name right accidentally, or was there foul play? Sridevi. Did the Indian actress Sridevi die accidentally? No. God, I don't want to throw conspiracies to India. Jesus. Okay, did she die? Did she die of a heart attack? One says yes, one says no. There's not. It's not it. Tell me what, you know what? Tell me what was, give me some more. Was there foul play involved in her death? No. No. Did they think she, I mean, yeah, I don't think so. What market will it crash? They have to be very specific questions. Okay. Like, is Heidi wearing a black jacket? Is Heidi wearing a pink jacket? One to say that. That means no. Show me a yes. Show me a no. Yeah. So. Yeah, these are legit. Like these, you can go find wells, water. My dad will use these. Like these are the only things he actually believes. It's funny. All right, and I'll ask a few more questions, but. Oh wait, I know, let me see. Is Harry going to get a new job? Yes. If the YouTube removes my live video, you might have like hit the, maybe it didn't, maybe you accidentally, I've done this so many times and I didn't realize it. I've accidentally like unsubscribed from people and accidentally hit the remove the notifications. So make sure you have like get notifications on. So that will happen. Was Chris Cornell murdered in Detroit? Yes. I've heard they worked for like oil. I've heard they worked for like gas lines and everything else. Will Harry work in New York City? Will Harry take a new job in Austin? Oh, that means they don't want to answer when they do that. So it doesn't want to tell you. So I hate when people say I look tired. I'm really not. Okay. I'm calm. When I'm calm, people think I look tired if I'm not all rowdy or all rowdy. It's just so it cracks me up. Alien disclosure. What about it? I've asked these, if you guys watch any of my other shows, I've asked the same questions. Okay. Was Sridevi murdered? Will Matthew Raymond travel to USA in September? Doesn't want to answer. Maybe it's not September, different month. Will the bond market crash within the next year? Oh. All right, I'll ask again, but I asked twice. Was Sridevi murdered? The Indian actress. No. No. Maybe it's a little, maybe my chat's a little behind. That's a good question, but I think the answer is no. I'm not kicking you out. Don't worry. Will the Earth have a pole shift? So when it doesn't answer and it gives some weird, no, I'm not taking Litecoin yet. When you ask it a question and it's not right, it gives you some weird answer. Well, had Vishnu reincarnated after Krishna? Doesn't want to answer. Sometimes they just won't answer. Oh, that's a good question, Carmen. That's a good question. Was Sridevi, did she kill herself and commit suicide? Yeah. Was Sridevi, did Sridevi commit suicide? Yeah, looks like it. Oh my God, how can you not see? I can see them. No, I'm not going on Rick's show tonight. I'm not going on any more shows tonight. I have like 3 days full of readings. Maybe that's better. Somebody in this really, really IT world told me, can you buy the Venezuela crypto that's I know nothing about it. We've asked this question 1,000 times. Will Bitcoin be 100,000 by December? It's not going to be 100, but I think it's going to be close. Is Bitcoin going to be 78,000 by December? Will Bitcoin be over 78,000 by December? It's possible. Oh my God, I've asked all these questions with Michelle, all that stuff. Will Trump win in 2020? That was a fast, that was a fast yes, actually. That made me so happy. Is James lost? No. Well, can Stephanie, with my dad come? Stephanie's dad visit her in her dreams. Yes. Will Litecoin ever be? Yeah, I can do a chart for any cryptos. I'll do a chart for, but you have to send me the like all the details, like the month. You have to go translate it. Don't send me half of the details. Don't send me just the date. I need the month, day, year, city, location. Okay, and then I need the time. You have to convert it from crypto time to like real time. I need all of that, or I can't do it. But I will do it. Will Litecoin be $2,000 by summer? Will Populous be 2,000 this year? I like that chart. Will Cliff High live to? I'm not asking that. Of course he will. That's a stupid question. He's going to live forever. probably will. Will waves go over 50? I guess that's a crypto. Will waves go over $50 this year? Yep. DJ, don't even ask, don't even start. You just won't get it. You won't get it. And you probably couldn't use them either because you don't have that kind of energy. Only certain people can use them. These are like, okay, so they're metal copper. You can go get them from Christian whistleblower Jeffrey Dougherty at his website. Okay, Christian whistleblower, just Google him. He's in my website, he's on my shows. He was a priest or a pastor, not a priest, but he's one of my good friends. He makes these. Okay, so as you see, they swing around. Okay, there's like no buttons on them or anything like that. Okay, Google dowsing rods. Okay, and read what they do. All right, so they answer to you however they want to answer. So I'll show you again. Okay, is Donald Trump the president of the United States? Okay, that means yes. Watch this. Is Hillary Clinton, no. Did Hillary Clinton lose the presidency? See that? I didn't even touch him. Okay. Good job, guys. All right, so let's see. All right, I think I'm done here, guys. I'm done for the night. I know you're probably not being rude, but you know, I'm just kind of like, I'm just to the point. Unfortunately, like people sometimes think I'm being rude when I answer, but that's just how I talk. So no, I already answered this twice. No, I'm not accepting crypto yet. I literally, guys, I don't have time to even, I can't even let people schedule on an app. Do you think I can accept crypto? Not yet. Trust me. If I start doing those things, I have a full-time career. I work 40 to 50 hours a week in real estate, full-time, selling new homes. So I cannot have one more task. That's why I have people that have to wait so long. All right, John Hogue is on. Let's see. Hang in there. We're gonna do. We are gonna do readings next week. Jenny and I will. We're gonna do more. Yeah. So we're gonna do like something like the Nakshatra series. We'll probably do, maybe we'll do the, instead of the moon's ascendants. Okay, that's a great idea. That's what we're going to do. So does Heidi accept crypto? No. Will she? No. Will she? And when people ask me, I just keep, like one guy spent 2 hours, I swear, well, it's so easy. It's so easy. Like you guys don't understand. I promise you, I cannot do that yet. I'm not capable yet of doing that and worrying about that. I have enough things I worry about. Does Terry have a bad enemy at work? No. No. Does Terry have a enemy at work? No. One says no, one's like, maybe it's not an enemy. Maybe it's a frenemy. What do they call it? Here's my advice. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. That's how you do it. Our Rohini is going to die. No, that's over. And I never said the Rohinis were going to die. Go ahead, Lee. Think simply. Go ahead. Okay, so are archons and jinn the same entity? I don't even know what that is. Am I saying that right? Are archons and jinn the same entity? hold on. Can't see. Are archons and jinn the same entity? No. I never said Rohinis were going to die. I just said, watch out, don't get in any trains, no public transportation. Okay. Will housing go bankrupt? What do you mean, will housing go bankrupt? No, housing's not going bankrupt. What do you mean? Makes no sense. It doesn't even make sense. The question doesn't make any sense. We're not taking any money, cryptos yet. Will the Las Vegas market, will the Las Vegas housing market go down in price this year? No. Guys, the market, I'm sorry, I started selling homes when things went like this. It's only going up. It's fine. A housing market is good. It's a good thing to invest in, buy a house. You know what, Dan, this Daniel Richardson guy in here, look, I'm going to say something. I don't know. I've blocked you from my Twitter because I don't know what kind of comments you were trying to make, but they didn't look very positive. So I don't like absurd comments. I don't like a million comments. I don't like when people, and don't take it wrong if I don't respond. I just don't have time. And I don't chat. I don't text people. I don't message people. Okay. So don't take it as an insult if I don't respond. But when I see my name on a top 5 post with Alex Jones, and I don't know what it's about because you speak in a different language, basically, then I'm going to say something and block you. So that's what I did. So I don't know what your intentions are. So just letting you know. Who's this Mossy guy? It's fine. He can leave. What's he doing? Julia, actually, if this is the Julia, I'm going to be contacting you tonight or tomorrow because you're on my list real soon. I think that's you. So you'll hear from me soon. Should Julia Chong move to Hawaii? Is that what it was, Hawaii? Yeah. Well, Kavita earned a lot of money in 2018. Not answering. You know what, in my opinion, what that meant was you can. I want to know what those two said. All right, that's it, guys. Yeah, I don't deal with trolls. Sorry. Yeah, they get removed. I don't play games. I don't play troll games. And they will hear about it too. Well, Ethereum, yeah, I think it will for sure. Will Ethereum reach $2,000 this year? Will Ethereum reach $2,000 this year? Ethereum has a strong chart too. Thank you, Chris. Well, I don't even know what that is. Iraqi dine. I don't know what that is. So I don't want to ask that. Will you get laid off or prompted with the upcoming merger? You mean promoted? I just had a merger. Yeah, I don't know if they're scientific or spiritual, quite honestly. I think a pseudoscience, you want to call, I don't know, their energy. So look, I'm like all by facts. So I'm a Scorpio rising, Mars and K2 in the first house. It's called the investigator. It is somebody that wants to know the truth, the facts. And because when I do have intuition, it's negative. Okay. So I'm not going to be one that plays around with like dead. If I want to see ghosts and Satan, I probably could call them in through my front door right now if I wanted to. I have that energy. Yes, absolutely. But it's blocked. Like I've blocked that. I've blocked the bad. That's why I'm so guarded. Okay. I've just, I definitely have, but I have a lot of good things too, you know, because my intentions are good. So I believe that if your intentions are right, these are good. It's all about your intentions. I think an Ouija board can be played with the right intentions and it'd be fine. So it depends on what you want to play with. You want to play with the dark, then you'll get the dark. You want to play with the light, you'll get the light and the positive. So it depends on what your intentions are. So if you're sitting around putting spells on people, which I can't do, yeah, I'm sure it's probably going to be negative. And they probably trick you, give you bad readings and bad stuff. So will Iraqi US currency pair? So will the Iraqi money and US dollar currency pair to be higher in US dollar terms? I don't even know if I don't know about that. I don't even know if I said that right. I don't like that question. I hope is Stephen Nico Williams, the populist guy, a fraud? No, it's a slow no. So he's probably sketchy, but he's not a fraud. Is Stephen Nico Williams a fraud? Fraud question. Well, Heidi put me. Okay. Does Heidi's subconscious affect the rods? No. They won't talk to me. If I'm in a bad mood or off, will you talk to me? Trust me, if they don't want to answer, they don't answer. They don't answer like any questions for me. They will only answer for people like other people. Well, Heidi tried to push Anton off her balcony. That was a fast no, too. Come on. Anton is a fellow Scorpio. Check out his channel. Is George Soros a lizard? Is George Soros a lizard? I think he's more than a lizard. I think he's, some lizards are nice. I like lizards. Well, DJ Drewski, you might not even be a Scorpio. You might not even be a Scorpio. Like, so my astrology that I go by, this is the last thing I'm going to end on this. Here's the deal. So for instance, I was born September 12th. Okay. I would read Virgo and be like, not me. Why? Because I'm not like an earthy person. Like I'm just being honest. So it's very hard for me to like go out and stick my feet in the grass. Why? Because I get bug bites. Like I'm all about, like, I'm not one of those people. Now, What part of Virgos definitely we're on? I would say probably, and I'm working on that earthy thing. Okay. I can go sit on the beach. Yeah. That to me, that's a little grounding. Okay. But I'm not like one of those people that like I try to eat healthy, but you know, I've never been, my mom used to feed me organic stuff since I was a kid and I hated it. I couldn't wait to like eat Twinkies because I wasn't allowed to have it. So I'm not joking. Like I am not one of those people that, so, but the positive Virgo parts, I would say like, no, those are the positive. I got some of the negative Virgo traits. Why? Because my Venus is in Virgo. So what does that mean? That means makes you really practical, makes you look at a relationship like a business in a way. It can be like you are going to be very picky. So I'll be Virgo-y in relationships. Like I want perfection, which is impossible. Okay. So you can be like a lister. Like if you're annoyed with somebody, you'll start like listing all the annoyances of everything they do. And then like somebody I was with before brushed his teeth and it got on my nerves. Like, cause it was too loud. So those weird things. You sure you still want to date me? No, I'm kidding. So, but you have an ascendant. Your ascendant changes every 2 hours. You need to know what time you're born. I didn't know this. So I thought I was always a Virgo. So I never bought the whole astrology thing. So then I sold homes to a whole community of Indians from Hyderabad. This is the story. I've told it a lot. So sorry if you have to hear it again. And they wouldn't buy a house if the front door wasn't facing a certain way. I was like, what the hell's going on? So I bought this book to learn the directions. Okay. And I'm reading this book and it says, there's diagrams of the house and stuff. Cause I'm like, why won't they buy a house if the front door isn't? Like, I just couldn't understand it. So I'm reading this and I see there's case study of a premature death. And I see like, Jesus God, like cuts extent. And it starts talking about astrology signs. So I'm a Scorpio rising, quite honestly. So I was always worried about what happens when you die. Want to know why we're here. I like to know things that nobody else knows. Okay. This is Scorpio. And I Googled Indian astrology and came upon this guy's website, who I give credit to all the time, KRS Astrology, Kapil Raj, which I was supposed to meet him and he completely, like something happened. He lives close to DC though. So I send everybody there because he's the easiest to learn from. Breaks it down, makes Vedic astrology fun, okay? And I Googled Scorpio rising. Google that. Spot freaking on. Go to KRS. Pisces moon, spot on. Leo sun, spot on. I'm like at work, I'm all Leo. Like I'm a salesperson. I sell homes. Like I'm not Virgo. I tried the Virgo when Rahu was in my 11th house doing mortgages. Wasn't my thing. I hate numbers. People think like, oh, well, you have that detective mode. That's a Scorpio. And I have Jupiter, or you're just all analytical. That's Jupiter in Mula. So these nakshatras, my chart is explained totally different. Like I never could say, I'm not a Sagittarius rising. I don't feel it at all. I have Jupiter in Sagittarius in my second house, so I speak like it. Yeah. I have, it just makes more sense. So, and my 11th house has Venus in it, not my 10th, like it does Western. And my 11th house is your networks, groups, circles, all that stuff. And I'm one hell of a networker. Like I'm always setting people up with other people, like for business and stuff. Like I'm like, oh, you know him? I know you know this, you know that. So there's way more things. And your chart is made up of way more than your sun sign. So your sun sign is what you think you are in astrology. So I thought I was a Virgo. So when I look at horoscopes, like from any tarot reader or any astrologer on YouTube or whatever, I listen to my Vedic way and Western way. You just never know. And sometimes I'll pick. So like, because mine changed 100%. So it used to stress me out so much. I decided to learn these nakshatras that were so spot on. And I've been studying the nakshatras forever. So nakshatras break down these signs, but you have to know the time of birth. You have to know your time of birth. If you don't know your time of birth, I won't give you a reading. So there's astrologers that will rectify times, like Michael Reed is good. I'm pretty sure Joni does it, Joni Patry. There are astrologers that will do it. It's expensive. It's, you know, probably $600-700 because it takes so much time. Because you have to go through transits and see. And maybe Ernst does. I don't know if Ernst does, but and you know, if you're just trying to learn astrology, Ernst Wilhelm uses different calculations than me. But I like listening to him, and I still take all of his classes, and I still like his stuff. But I use, you know, and he's smart. He's got K2 in the first, so him and I read, like, he has that. That's why I listen to him. But I just can't get on board with the signs. I can't do it. I've tried so many times, and I just can't. So, but they work. Like, some astrologers will read tropically, and it works. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's not at all. Not at all. But I'm just saying, for me, that's what I related to. That was me. And that's what I use for my readings. So, all right, let's see if there's any more, and then I'm going to go. Venus is the planet of love. I know. And you know what I can say? A debilitated Venus, I can tell you, I've never been in love, ever. Like, I've never, and I'm not sad about it. Don't think I'm sitting here like, don't be like, oh, trust me. Like, I've never been in love. That's the truth. So debilitated Venus, I think that's what it does. Now, a debilitated Venus can also make you make money, be a hustler. So I believe that I'm not into, like, when somebody says, oh, Jupiter's debilitated, you're gonna have this. You cannot say that, because it's not the case. Like, debilitated Jupiter, in my opinion, needs to be changed to, like, modern terms. I think it means somebody that's just not gonna, because Jupiter's debilitated in Capricorn, they say. I'm gonna tell you, I know so many people that have Jupiter and debilitated Jupiter, which is money, finances too. And you have to look at it for money, in Capricorn, that are loaded. Okay. They have a lot of money, leaders, diplomats. So, like, you have to look at those things, and it really depends on your whole chart. So, and how it's set up. So, all right, I'm going to do one more thing for everybody in the live chat. I'm just going to pull cards just as one last final words for advice, because I'm feeling nice. All right, so it's all about money. Like, it really is. There's so much going on about money, but don't spend too much money. Like, just don't waste money now. Just think, hold on to your money. Like, just hold on to, don't make any rash decisions, not just about money either, about emotions. You know, that's really what people can get themselves into. With all these retrogrades this month, I will say, like, I'm totally different. I feel like anytime planets are retrograde, besides the last Mercury retrograde, I tend to sell more homes. They're the best months for me financially. So, like, I can't say that I think all retrogrades are bad. And I don't even have Mercury debilitated in my chart. It's actually pretty strong. So I'm going to say that I just don't believe that. And, you know, another thing, the whole strength, the Ashtavarga stuff, that in Vedic astrology that people use very heavily, like, Jupiter right now is, my Saturn should be giving me 0 points of Shadbala in my second house. I could be dead, you know, like, technically I could have went bankrupt. Quite honestly, this is like the most this is like, I've been more successful with Saturn in my second house that it's been, couldn't even tell you. And I can tell you another thing. So I'm not going to 100% go by that Shadbala. Like, it's strong, but, like, strong for what? You know, I don't know. Like, I'm very skeptical after reading so many charts and doing so many things. Like, there's so many things I relook at now and say, like, that's why I find that tarot and the rods are definitely just another kick for that can give you better predictions. Because I've read too many charts recently of like really, really successful people that do not have, that have like all these like 4 planets in the 8th house, or, you know, just like crazy things that astrologers would have told me, like they did tell me, some of them, you know, that I was going to die at 32. I'm still here. So, which is another reason why I started to learn it. All right. So yeah, I don't necessarily think Jupiter, I think a debilitated Jupiter really does make you like, doesn't make you believe any hocus pocus. Like you're not going to be real religious. It could make you maybe extremely religious where you're so stubborn and you just can't get your head out of the sand. Like I noticed Jupiter in Pisces or Jupiter in Cancer. Like a Jupiter, Moon, Rahu, and Cancer, they're religious as all can be. Like it's sometimes like, you know, can be really religious. But, and Jupiter is in a way in a great spot in Pisces. So you have to think, you know, who made these terms? Okay. So I like to say it makes you think. If a planet is retrograde, it makes you reconsider, redo, rethink, analyze. Maybe it makes you a little scattered, makes you forget things, but doesn't mean that it's like worthless. I can tell you that. Just check your paperwork. Make sure your phone's turned off. Make sure you lock your doors. Make sure you don't drive like an idiot, because Mercury retrograde, there's car accidents. It might not even be you. It's the other idiots that don't know about it. So that's what you have to pay attention to. And last card, if anybody in here is in toxic relationships, it's time to get out. Like it really is. This is like a clean house, because there's great opportunities for new relationships to come in now, I think personally, for some people. And I think, you know, depending on what kind of, but we're still so close to this eclipse season. We're still like in cleanup mode. Clean a house, like get rid of it. Get rid of what's not supposed to be in your life. And because at the end of the year, there's a lot more like positives, positivity for good change, like people you're really supposed to be with. And I think, you know, right now it's like kind of endings. And I think this whole year is a lot of endings. I think this is just a big changing year. So know that, my God, it's already March, for God's sakes. Like it's going so fast too. So just keep trucking away. Just remove what's not making you happy. It's definitely relationships. So for the message for everybody in here, it's definitely, if you're in bad relationships, don't stick it out. Like you got to get rid of it. Because like if you're, trust me, coming from the person that has all the relationship problems, like if you're in a toxic relationship, and sometimes I was the toxic person to be in the relationship with, like I'm not going to lie, I was. So I was not a good person to be in a relationship with. I had to learn about myself, and, you know, but I was in the relationship with toxic people. So, you know, it can make you toxic. So if you're in bad relationships, you're going to turn into that same type of monster. And I can tell you, I've been single for so long now. And anytime I have if you feel sad or bad about it or something, just go call one of your married friends. Most people it's freedom, you know, it's freedom. So just understand that you can probably do it without having a relationship in your life. Sometimes letting go and being alone is the most empowering thing. And watch KRS Astrology, the video he did on isolation. I talk about isolation. I have the most isolated chart. K2 in the first, and a moon that has that yoga that he's saying. I have nothing beside the moon. So I've lost a lot of, I've let go of a lot of people in my life, but I can tell you, you are born, I always say this too, you're born in this world alone, you're going to die in this world alone. So, and it is such an empowering feeling to being alone. Like every time I drive home, I'm like, I don't have to deal with anybody. And it's amazing because you know how many people have that burden. And once you accept it and know that you're okay, the only reason why it's not okay is because your friends or somebody makes you feel weird about it. Oh, you're going to be alone the rest of your life. Oh, well, who says I can't? Who says I can't be? Like, if I am, I am. And when you can accept that and say that, because I can tell you, I've been in relationships my entire life, my whole world has changed. So detoxify the horrible relationships in your life. And, you know, if you can make them better, make them better. But usually when they're at that point where they're so toxic, they're not repairable. They're here to teach you a lesson. They're part of your karma. So, and think about that with money too. Like when you're that attached, I had the same issues. Like after my divorce, I got into so much issues with him, with the money and stuff. He totally screwed me over. And why? Because I didn't get an attorney, but I left him. So, I mean, I just trusted him. So, I was so mad for so many years. I'm still a little annoyed. I'm not going to lie, but the attachment that I had to money. I mean, I still do. Don't get me wrong. I like nice things, but I worked my way out of it. I never, you know, everybody thinks, oh, I can't do it without this person, or I can't do. They hang on to these relationships because of money, like, and fear. Get the hell out of there. Or hurting people's, I mean, it's crazy. Like, if you're not happy, you're going to live a miserable life. And if the person you're with makes you miserable, you got to get out. And if somebody's cheating, they're probably not going to change. You know, if it's just the trends. It's probably in your chart. He's probably here to teach you a lesson, or she's probably here to teach you a lesson. So that person can change, but probably not in the relationship with you. If it's that, you know, sometimes at those stages. I'm not saying always. There's always a rare case, a rare gem, but I can tell you, if somebody cheated on me, there would be no return. You know, so not with this like Scorpio energy, but some people like forgive, forget, move on, I guess. You know, I'm not that person. All right. That's my advice, because there's a lot of relationship cards. Have a good night, guys. And we'll see you next week.